Bugbear.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you all here. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Mine was somewhat quiet, but of course I only get it one day off on the weekend. I get Sundays. But on Saturday I did manage after my various responsibilities to go watch a movie. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But other than that, I would assume right now as we speak there is a certain sporting event taking place in America that most people don't care about, and the ones who do are
That's right.
very excited, and the rest of
Yeah.
them are like, "Ree, how dare you do anything? Oh my God!" I've heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Me,
their default state.
that is their default state. I'm in the group that
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit because I've never cared for MMA. I prefer boxing. It's boring to me. But a lot of people love it, man. Rock on, dude. Rock on, right? Let them have their fun. And it's such a ridiculous statement of saying you can't do anything at the White House when we see them do things at the White House forever. And of course, the last weird event we had at the White House was a bunch of gay people running around with their tits out.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean,
And
fuck off. It hadn't even
the
been 30
greatest,
minutes. Look at me.
besides Trump, because I think he's up there now, with especially the second term, the greatest president maybe we've ever had, as far as actually getting shit done.
We'll
Teddy
see.
Roosevelt.
He's moving.
He is moving. Teddy Roosevelt, though, I give him. I'd still put him above him just because he helped. Well, what he did was good, but what it led to was bad. But that's a different conversation. But he had all kinds of stuff at the White House. He had boxing matches and sporting events.
Martial arts,
I mean,
ninja.
yeah. And then if you go back further, they were shooting each other on the White House lawn. What are we talking about? This is undignified. Listen, here's what's happening. All right, you're living in modern day Rome. The emperor wants some games at his palace, and he's getting them, and that's it. That's the end of it. What do you can get mad about it all you want, but he's a president. He gets to make that decision. That's it. I don't understand what the confusion is, or why we have to clutch our pearls like it's the end of the world just because we got some gladiators fighting at the palace. Perfectly normal imperial stuff.
No, I agree, 100%. And but they can't handle it because Trump's involved. If it was anything else,
That's
they wouldn't care, right?
no,
If
no.
Barack Obama had something like that, they would cheer it. I mean, he did have
Mm-hmm.
basketball stuff going. He did build a basketball court, which I have no problem with, no big deal. And the American
No.
taxpayers did pay for that, right?
Yep.
Whereas the things he's doing, he's paying for. But even with the taxpayer paying for a basketball court at the White House, I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that. I
Yeah,
have
it's
no
fine.
problem with our treasurer building a wonderful palace to
Yeah.
represent the people. I have no problem with that.
None at all. I think anybody who's against like his ballroom that he's building, which isn't even his, by the way, anybody
No,
that's against the ballroom that he's building is an idiot. The fact that the greatest country in the history of the world, in world history, the most powerful, wealthiest place to ever exist, and our palace, our imperial palace, the White House, that's what it is, doesn't have a ballroom is ridiculous. Like you can go to just about anywhere, even shithole countries in their governors or whatever they call it, presidential palace, whatever they call it, is going to have a ballroom or something very similar
of
to it.
course.
I think it's perfectly reasonable. He's got dignitaries coming from all over the world. It's one of the most secure locations on earth, the White House. It doesn't make any sense to not have one. In
Right.
fact, it's
And
actually kind of shocking they didn't till this point have one.
well, most countries have an actual palace, you know,
Yes,
a real one. Right.
not a
But
crummy office building
uh,
with some residential areas like the
I,
White House.
I'm going to have to disagree with you in regards to the richest country in the world, or even the richest person, even though Elon's a trillionaire. That's clearly not
Yeah,
true. His name was Mansa Musa, and he was from Mali, and
yeah.
that were the richest
Mm-hmm.
people. We go back and look at the architecture and the amazing monuments they built to this very day. Mud huts.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, them grand, glorious mud huts.
Mud huts.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Hmm.
and 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 not even arguing the fact that Mansa Musa was actually an Arab Muslim.
Yeah. Oops.
And if you
Whoops.
go to Mali today, they consider him in very bad regard because he burnt all
Not a
their
fan.
money to try to look
That's right.
fancy. Yeah, they hate that
That's
guy.
right. Not a fan.
Yeah,
Not a
just want to
fan
put it
because you
in
see
though,
the
because I've been told that's the richest dude, and they were the richest people ever, ever.
yeah, no. Elon
I've
has
been
enough
told,
money to buy the entire continent a couple times over at this point.
probably.
Um, he's ridiculous. I mean, he's worth almost. He's not actually a trillionaire, by the
No,
way, unless it changed. He's just under it. Okay, he's got like nine. He's worth about 900 and something billion. I'm not. You don't get to round up, Elon. You don't get
yeah,
to round that up.
yeah, but see, the reason why Elon's so rich is because he doesn't care about that. He's
Yes.
constantly rolling his money back into other projects. The guy
Yeah.
lives quite simply, actually.
Could
And
he? Could he maybe roll some of that money into, just stopping communists? Just you got the money
well,
now,
he
Elon. You could
is.
fund quite the counter revolution. Can you get a baby? Can we get a baby? 10 billion at it. You can afford it. It's nothing to you now. Throw
Yeah,
10 billion at it. I bet we can do some work. Get some
yeah.
work done.
Well, he is doing some things in that regard, but you
No,
know,
yes, yeah.
yeah. I mean, but the fact that he basically has bought the Philippines effectively,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
his
know what
now.
he's
We're
going
gonna
to
have
do
that
over there, but I have a feeling it's going to be a robot factory.
robot factory plus probably a nice launching pad because of its
Well,
its
that
uh
too.
its weather. Nice launch pad up into space where
Yeah,
because Elon's got plans, folks.
he
People think
does
we're anywhere
have
near.
plans.
We're not even close to
No,
what he's trying to do. He's not even close yet. He's got another decade at least,
he
which
wants
is
to be
crazy.
he wants to be the king of Mars. So
Yeah, you know what? Let him.
let him. Yeah, you can have it, Elon. Have at it,
It's all
buddy.
yours, buddy.
But whatever. Of course, we know the nonsense that's going on, and this USC fight is such a little thing. And they had, yeah, I was it yesterday, or the day before. They're getting all this set up, checking all their sound,
Yep.
doing all the stuff you got to do. And they had a bunch of those motorcycle trick riders, right? And
Yeah,
they had ramps,
motocross,
and they're doing flips and just having a good old fun time. And you had so many of
American
these
stuff.
American shit, right? You had so many of
That's
these
right.
cucks come on and go, "My, that's disgusting motorcycles." I've been having
Listen,
the greatest weekend, dude. It's so funny.
they're lucky I'm not in charge of the 250th because we'd have monster truck rallies,
Damn
we'd have
right.
tractor pulls, we'd
Hell
have
yeah.
rodeos. It'd be the world's biggest state fair ever at DC. We'd
Yeah.
turn DC into a big fairground. The
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
fucking place. We'd kick everybody out,
Right.
get them out of
Right.
here, and it'd just be a big fair all year round
Yeah.
for everybody.
And of course,
It'd be great.
you know what the unifying word has been a bunch these amongst these diverse and inclusivity and all these kind of we love everybody, love people. White
Yep,
trash, trailer trash. There's
that's right.
trailer trash at the White House. Trailer trash. I thought you were inclusive and loving and
Uh huh.
uh-huh.
And first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no trailer trash doing motocross. That's an expensive ass sport.
Damn right it
Let's
is.
start there. That's a lot of money that these people are playing around with. It's kind of like what they call NASCAR guys. Yes, some of the fans, sure, they're trailer trash rednecks, but none of the drivers are because that's expensive. Them cars are
Yeah.
$100,000,
Yeah.
but period. Like,
And besides, you got to understand, rednecks are redneck by choice.
that's right. They
Right?
like that.
They
That's their
like that.
lifestyle. They
I
like.
mean, if you
Yeah,
want to talk about people who are just dirt poor and don't know nothing, which isn't even true, but that kind of that image, that's a hillbilly, buddy.
that's
Yeah.
hillbillies. Yeah. And them are
But
some of the best people you ever meet.
good,
Hillbillies
good
take good
honest
care of.
people,
They,
just don't
yeah,
don't piss them off.
no. Well,
No.
but that's the white in them. You don't want to. They're see because they got that. They're at that lower strata, so you got less buffer, right? The
There,
richer you get, the more you can piss a white person off because they're rich. Like you know what? But as they get poorer, that's when they start getting more and more. There's less buffer
testing.
zone.
Testing.
Yes.
But other than Hollywood wants to make all rednecks, hillbillies look like criminal idiots, the reality
Yeah.
is the crime rate is actually very low amongst these people.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love how they keep saying the black people are causing all the crime because they're poor. Well, they're not even the poorest group in America. What are you
No,
talking about?
no. Not only that,
They're kind of middle
there's
class, actually.
there's absolutely zero evidence that poverty causes crime anywhere on planet Earth. What there is evidence of is the opposite. Crime causes poverty.
Yeah,
Because
that
what
is true.
happens, people who
These
are makers like
government
an Elon Musk,
programs.
entrepreneurs, people who want to be in business, who want to make that money on the right way and bring a service to an area, well, they're going to tell that area to go fuck itself if people keep violating them
Yeah.
with crime.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they? Like, why would you want to run a bank in a place where it gets robbed all the time? Like, get out of here. You're not.
Sure.
No one wants to do that.
I know.
So what happens is, what happens, and I watched it happen in real time in the place where my grandparents lived growing up in the south of this city, south end of this city. I watched it happen in real time. There used to be all kinds. That was the main drag of this side of the city, right? Everybody was on this street on Broadway, which is where their business was. Broadway is now a total shithole because certain elements moved in, and the crime just kept creeping up and creeping up and creeping up, and everybody started moving out. Everybody with sense and money started moving out, so eventually all the businesses left. And guess what? Now it's just a shithole. The corner that my grandfather's shop that I ran for like 10 years was on, this is how I know about these people, it's the only reason, was literally for 5 of those years that I ran it, the number one shooting place in the city. Wow. Had the most shootings out of any other intersection or any other like a little region in the whole city. That's how much of a shit. And that was in like 20 years. It went from a nice one to a shithole because nobody wants to. Who's going to put money in there when they're just going to get robbed and shit? Yeah. Nobody.
And the black people who have money get out too. So
yeah, they're like, nah, I'm out of here. My whole family did. My grandpa died, but the rest of them all just moved. Right? My parents did. Everybody else got out of there because it started turning into a shithole.
That's right. You know, but at the same time, where of course that's an ongoing problem. It's been getting worse and worse since civil rights. But yeah. There's another thing to kind of go along with this screaming and yelling about the UFC. And of course, it's that small, noisy group. We know this, right? However, at the exact same time, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we do have the FIFA World Cup going on in America. Now, I know that most Americans, yeah, and don't care. I know this. But an interesting little phenomena has happened, right? Even though Americans are completely unaware of it, because what do we give a shit about soccer? But the whole world is piled in, having their good old time, and good for them. Rock on, dude. You do you. But here's the thing: all these foreigners, particularly Europeans and Latinos, who are always mocking us, looking down on us, making jokes about America constantly, right? Right?
Yeah.
And that includes you, right. Canada. We see you. We see you up there. Okay. But they come into America and they're like, oh my God, this place is fucking awesome. Yeah, no shit. No shit, dumbass.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching those videos too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the reason we're all fat is because, well, I'm not, but I used to be. The reason why we're all fat is because we have too much.
Yeah, so much good food. And the food's just good, bro. Like, there's none of this bullshit. There's none of this bullshit British cuisine. I'm using that word as loosely as it can possibly be used. Yeah. Cuisine. It's none of this nonsense. Like, we don't eat a bunch of snails. Get out of here. No, we eat beef over here. We get them beef. They get that beef in you.
The funny ones is when they go into, because they're having these all over. And, our high school or junior high stadiums are, for us, they're
huge.
Normal, but for them, it's bigger than their main park. And they're like, what, the high school? And it's just funny watching it, dude. It's hilarious because what it's doing is doing two things. One,
red pilling them real quick.
Red pilling them super quick, right? Because they're like, whoa, we were told otherwise, right? And they're also surprised these Americans are so friendly. No shit. Well, do you guys forget that you mock us for being too friendly? Did you forget?
We're the best around.
Okay.
We're the best around. We're the best at all of it. We're the most courteous. We're the most generous. We're the most rebuild the communists, right? Because the rest of Europe's a shithole. Most of Europe is a shithole. People don't want to talk about it, but it's true. These people live in sub-poverty, most of them. The vast majority of Europeans live very, very poor lives compared to the Americans.
Yeah.
So they come over here and they see things like our schools are massive, and they got these huge stadiums, and their gyms at the schools are better than their private gyms they have to pay for. And this is just stuff Americans don't even really think about, because of course it does.
Maybe
that's how it
you
is.
should leave the shitholes you're in that have been given over to foreigners and come over to America, man.
Come on over.
That dream, baby.
Come on over.
Come on over.
But don't bring your dog shit food. We don't want it. We got good food here. You'll be all right. We got the food we wanted from you. It was the Italians. They brought it. We eat it now. That's ours. We're going to take that. You can keep the rest of that. Well, you can bring some sausage, Germans. We do like your sausage. That's a good time. The rest of it can stay.
You do realize the largest demographic of people in America are German, right?
I do that. I am one of them. Yeah. In fact, Austrian German, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm the Germanic. Oh, let me put the ick on there for you. Yeah, that was a joke. Laugh. Everyone laugh. Okay, good. But the saddest, but also most awesome one I saw was this South African fella, white dude, right?
Yeah.
And he was just kind of strolling around, just doing a vlog, and he's walking through a park, and he's like,
"That's right.
It's clean."
Yes.
There are benches that have not been ripped up. There are women walking by themselves.
That's right. And they'll say hi to you.
They'll say hi. There's squirrels and birds that have not been eaten. I was like, it's revealing and sad at the same time. But just watching all these now, of course, what it's done is, one, it's changing, it's red pilling them, as Thundera had said.
Yep.
But two, a lot of Americans who don't give a shit about the World Cup, they're noticing this because people live online. And it is adding a little bit of pride, I think.
Good.
Which is good. But
I saw this one guy. I think he's Scottish. He's got that swarthy Scot look, the dark-haired, blue-eyed Scot. No, he was a big guy too. He was probably about your size, big boy, good-looking guy, nice-looking dude. And he's out here. He's talking. He just got back. This in his video. He's talking about he just got back over home. Might be back home. He's like, I just don't feel right here anymore. But I don't know. I don't know what you Americans did to me. We gave you a taste of freedom, brother, and now you're hooked. That's all we did. We let you come from a socialist shithole like Scotland to a free place. Where people just, we're not miserable all the time. We're miserable, sure, but not as much. And we have a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not politeness, that's the wrong word. We have a lot more camaraderie with each other. One of the reasons why you see Americans, except for, wacko psycho Democrats, but even normal Democrats love America. They do. They're wrong about how to help the country, but they do. The normal ones, your union Democrats, these people, they love the country. And they love what it stands for. They love this, that, or whatever. The problem you have is, of course, the establishments of both parties are completely fucking evil. But regardless, the most Americans are patriotic. Patriotism in America is ubiquitous with Americans. Even non-white Americans love this country. Did you know, Chester? I bet you didn't know that. Maybe you didn't. You're a pretty smart guy. You probably did know this. Do you know, per capita, which ethnic group of Americans serves in the U.S. military the most?
Black people and Latinos.
Nope. Native Americans. American Indians.
Oh, per capita. Oh, okay.
Well, there's not a lot of them, but yes, comparatively, they serve the most by, I think, a factor of almost double of everyone else. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. One is because the reservations... Yes, one is because the reservations suck and they want to get out of there. But the other reason is because most of them, believe it or not, I know the left wants to tell everybody otherwise, but as one I can tell you, love the fuck out of America. They're appreciative of what the white man has given them. Appreciative of it. They don't hate the white man. They don't hold a grudge against the white man. They're not out here like black people talk about shit that happened 150 years ago like it happened to them. They're very appreciative of the fact that when you stop and think about it, the white man was merciful because anybody else would have wiped them right the fuck out. Period. They'd been gone. And we know this because we have history. We have
Well,
all of human history.
it's really has to do more with the people who settled in America. It's
Yes.
because if you look at the Spanish conquest, right?
Yep.
That was a military action, and they raped out the population, and that's where you get the people, Mexicans and other peoples today. They're not. They
Yep.
keep saying everyone they're native. You're not native. You
No,
are the product of rapey conquistadors. That's what
that's right.
you are, sadly, right?
That's right.
And maybe it explains some of your problems, right?
Those
Whereas
Anglo-Germanic Saxons that came over, they were different.
they
They didn't
were,
quite have that
because
that rapiness in them.
no, but also they were religious people. They were
Deeply.
they were Puritans, and they were
Yep.
settlers, not soldiers. Later,
Right.
when we built our military and had this whole, cavalry and all that kind of stuff, things got ugly. That's when they got ugly. But that's when they needed to get ugly, right?
Yes.
But the beginning of it, the first major chunk of what became America, were a bunch of Christian settlers, man. So of
Well,
course they weren't doing that kind of shit.
the other thing, a lot of these people will say. Well, I saw this guy on there. He's I can't remember. I want to say he's like Crow or something like that, Indian, and he's very much a pro-American patriotic guy. And he straight told, he's like, listen, I've been telling them all for years, you need to be rooting for the white man, because if the white man loses control of this place, you really think anybody else gives a shit about you? You think any of these other people, all these other groups, care
No.
about the Indian? No, the white man does. The white Americans do, because some of us do have a little bit of guilt. I don't personally, but a lot of Americans do. They think
Yeah,
they've been
but
told that what they did was wrong or whatever, and also they also have an ethnic morality that's different than everybody else on the planet. It just is. Where
it
it comes
is.
from, mostly Christianity, but it's
It
also just Germanic egalitarianism in
Oh yeah,
general.
they're the ones
Um,
that stopped raping and pillaging and all that kind of
yes,
stuff. And the simple fact of the matter is, when it comes to these natives, is look at how many cities and states in America carry their names. Look how many
yes,
sports teams carry a Native American imagery. And of course, they've
we
been trying to
honor
get rid
them.
of that because of idiots. But we honor them. We have honored them
Yes,
for centuries, right?
yep,
Even though only 4% of those Indian tribes were what we would consider normal. The other 96 were
right.
brutal, barbaric savages.
Savages.
We call them savages for a reason. This isn't
Yep,
racism. This isn't propaganda. Once again, this is coming out of settlers initially, where the
right,
military stuff didn't happen until way later, right? Way
right. And
later.
it couldn't. There was no military to have,
There
really,
wasn't
by
any.
and large. Yeah,
And it wasn't until then that we were able to fight fire with fire, because like I've
right.
said this before, they were kicking our ass because we
Yep,
weren't willing to fight that kind of war.
right,
We weren't willing because these are Christians. They're not going to go out there and butcher your babies and put them on spikes. They're not going to do
right.
it. But the Indians would
Takes a
do it.
lot to get them there. Takes a lot.
Yeah, we
Takes
did
a
get there.
Vlad Tepes to get there, like level
Yeah.
of barbarity before eventually even the Christian man's like, all right, I have to meet fire with fire. I don't
And
have a choice anymore.
interestingly enough, you know who led the way in finally getting, fighting fire with fire? It's the freaking Texas Rangers, dude.
Yep, good
They're
old
the guys,
Texas.
they're like, nah, that's not how you have to deal with this problem. You got to fight them like they fight us. And they were
Yep.
right, right?
Which is
So
funny because we knew that to some degree, because
probably,
that's exactly what Jefferson did to the Muslims. He understood you couldn't fight them with honor because they don't have honor. They're not going to respect anything. So he sent the Marines in and said, "Hey, just burn their villages down, destroy everything, just take them out." And that's what they did
yeah.
in Tripoli. They took them out.
Yeah, if you know that song, The Halls of Montezuma and the Shores of Tripoli, that's, it's coming from that.
Yep,
Just saying.
that's what it means. They burnt their villages down, whole
They did.
cloth.
Right.
They didn't have a choice. They wouldn't
But
stop. They wouldn't be
anyway,
reasoned with.
modern Native Americans, outside of what Hollywood wants to tell you, the ones I met, and it's been a long time, but I did meet a lot because my one of my good high school friends, who's unfortunately dead now, his father was the chief of the Narragansett tribe, right? And
Nice.
which I didn't even know that initially. It took a while before he told me that. which is because we were
Right.
good friends doing all kind of stuff. And then he invited me over to his house for a weekend barbecue, and I was like, ooh, barbecue. So I went, and they're just Indians everywhere because he was at like half. His mom's
Hmm.
Italian, and he looked like his mom, right?
Right.
Where his dad was a Native American, and so the Italians and natives kind of mix well anyway. It's hard to
Yeah.
see, but and they were great. They were wonderful people. Killer food, dude. Killer.
Oh, I
And they
bet.
had a good old time. They were dancing their powwows, singing, just having joyous moments. Joy, joy.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I went to for many, many years. I went and did stuff over there, and I was the only white boy. And I stood out. I stood out like a lightning bug at night, right?
Right.
So but no, I've certainly interacted with Native Americans, and they weren't like that at all. I mean,
No.
the simple fact of the matter is, as with many other examples, in this modern turn we're in, it's the Europeans that created the modern world. I know a lot of people
Yes.
have a hard time dealing with that, and it's like tough, get over it. I mean, it's not like other places have not had amazing moments in time, but there's a huge difference between them, right? And this is what it comes down to give you an example. Back when China was badass, right? Because there was a point in time where they were badass. They had so many technologies. Who did they share it with?
Nobody.
Nobody. The Indians, at a couple times in their history, where in a history we don't even really know, they were incredibly badass. I mean, they might be the most high tech people have ever lived on this planet. Who did they share their tech with?
Uh, well, since there's none left, nobody.
Nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Egyptians and the various Mesopotamian empires? Who did they share their tech with? And they were pretty badass too.
They were. They were. Nobody. I
Nobody.
think the answer is no.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody. There
Hmm.
it is. You
That's
answered
right.
it. How about all them
Yeah.
Incans and Mayans and Tecocanos and Olmecals and all those guys down there? Who did they share their shit with?
Cockles. No one. Not a soul. Well, they
Not a
shared it with
fucking
somebody when they
soul.
killed them.
Yeah,
Put
they
it
did
through their
that.
skull. That was
Well,
about it.
the Europeans come up. They have their technology rolling. They create an industrial revolution, which you can only do if you're that type of culture anyway. By the way, that you're
Yeah.
willing to share with the people. You can't have an industrial revolution unless you're actually sharing with the people. All right. But who did the Europeans share all their tech and ideas with? Who did they share it with?
Uh, Pretty much everyone.
Everyone, every fucking
Yeah.
one of them, even their
That's right.
enemies. They shared
Yep.
what they learned with everyone. Everywhere they went, they shared and they gave. And this even started during the Roman time, right?
That's
The
right.
Romans shared
I would
every
say
damn
it
thing
even
they had.
during the Hellenic era. To be honest, they were out
Uh,
colonizing and spreading
to a
technology
point,
too.
but there were more traders. But I get your point.
True.
But I
True.
mean, the Roman ideal carried on all the way through. And when we started getting the real big tech, I mean, the Romans were pretty badass. Let's be fair,
They
but
had toilets.
they did, they did.
Yeah.
But this modern industrial revolution pump we've been on is pretty impressive, right?
It
And
is. It
we
is.
shared with everybody.
That's right.
Everybody. No
Big
one
Ten.
else in history has done that other than the Europeans. Nobody, right?
Yep.
But yet they keep bitching, constantly bitching on and on and on and on. The
You know what,
simple,
Chester? We should have just left them in their huts.
well, there were people at the time who suggested such things.
Because I mean, if listen,
One of those
the
being Karl
ingratitude.
Marx.
Yes. Yeah, yes. The ingratitude is something you cannot fix because an ungrateful spirit is not something you can teach away. It's not something you can preach away. It's not something you can buy away. At no point can you get rid of an ungrateful spirit from the outside. If somebody's ungrateful, they have to be humbled. And the fact that they're inferior by every metric to these people, to the Americans, the West, the Europeans, whatever you want to call it, and they can't accept that and be like, you know what, they're better. Let's do what they did, like East Asia's doing because
Oh
they're
yeah,
smart.
they
They're
are
like, well,
smart.
no, the Europeans got something figured out. Let's do what they were doing. Okay, and that's what they did. and that's why they're doing fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world refuses. Even Latin America, they're starting to get their shit together. It seems like now that all the socialist money isn't going down there to, all of America's aid money isn't propping up socialists everywhere.
Brilliant fucking move by Trump, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we cleaned that up. Now we're about to have a right wing Latin America for the first time since the 50s.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very. Imagine if everybody turns into Argentina or El Salvador. We just get a whole bunch of them down there. That'd be great.
Well,
anyway,
Colombia just flipped. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is that I'm getting to is that a lot of the world, most of it, in fact, rejected Westernism whole cloth, or basically rejected it. Took a few things, but basically rejected it. The places that didn't have thrived because it has nothing, and I know this is going to kill the white nationalist cred. I'm not a white nationalist. It has nothing to do with being white. It has nothing to do with Europeanism itself. What the Europeans did was what the Persians did before them, and what the Indians that you were just talking about did before them, except they didn't share, is they centered truth as a concept. As a reality, not as just this culture. Nebulous thing. It's a truth before face culture. If you center truth, and I hate using that term because the left has stolen it to mean weird shit, but if you do, as a society, if you say, no, our goal isn't to find what's right, isn't to find what's wrong, it's to find what's true. And then you'll find right and wrong. But first you have to know the truth, or get as close to it as possible. And the fact that our society has done that since the Renaissance, and really even back in Roman and Greek times, is the reason why we've been able to invent basically everything. Is the reason why we've been able to circumnavigate the globe multiple times, including with satellites and everything else. The reason all that the reason Elon's so successful is because he doesn't worry about what's right or what's wrong. He worries about what's correct, what is true, and that way he can then make decisions. One of the things he asks all his people is, what did you get done this week? Because that's true. That's correct.
Yeah.
You did something. That's a real thing. That's a verifiable thing I can look at. It's concrete. It's real. If you don't have an answer to that question, that means you did nothing. Effectively, even if you did do something, you effectively did nothing because I don't have a thing. There's nothing I can put my hands on. And that's the thing that made the West great. Christian ethos mixed with this inherent curiosity, but not curiosity for their own benefit necessarily, sometimes, but not necessarily, just because they wanted to know what's true. People forget. Science, one of the original definitions of the term science in the West was to better understand the universe of the Creator. They wanted to know, they took God's command to have dominion over the earth, which is his first commandment, by the way. It wasn't a gift. He said, this is yours, take care of it. They took that very literally to understand reality. A lot of these men were deeply spiritual men, deeply Christian men, and they took that very literally. And the reason why you had things like the Christian monks who preserved knowledge for so long is because of that same principle. All of this is our dominion. It was given to man to keep the knowledge of the world. Now, some Christian sects have done terrible, terrible things with knowledge. That's a heresy, in my opinion. I think knowledge is sacred. But my point that I'm getting at is it's because of that very simple idea of you put the truth before everything else. You put it before faith. You put it before honor. What is the truth? What is true? What can you verify as real? Which is all that means. What can you verify as real? And then go from there. This is why all the sciences have come out of the West and basically nowhere else. That's why. That's the only reason. As the rest of the world starts doing that, places that you wouldn't think of, like Latin America, like places even in Africa, like places in the East, all over the East, as they start trying to get to that point, get to that because it's harder in the East because they have such a face before truth culture in a lot of the East, where honor, don't shame anybody. It's better to lie than to be shamed type stuff. In the West, it's not like that. At least it's not supposed to be.
Right.
You're supposed to tell the truth. But as that shifts, and I do think it is shifting over there, I think it's one of the reasons why they're coming up so strongly, they're going to just get better and better and better. But imagine if they had the same ethos with their IQ levels over there in the Asians. The Asians have the highest, as a large group IQ.
Yeah.
they could be unstoppable. But because they don't have that ethos, because they suppress truth in order to make other people feel better, basically, uh, you get nowhere. That's a quick road to nowhere, and it's a quick road to exactly the situation they have. A lot of places over there, stagnation, where it's just kind of stuck, right? Uh,
Well,
and I think the only way out is the center truth. I think that's the secret of societal reality. You have
sure,
to center truth.
it does help. And etymology incoming.
Oh, here it comes.
It's your fault.
It's happening.
Science, the word comes from the Greek skyzian, and it
Mm-hmm.
means to separate truth from false.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's a good word,
Yep.
actually.
Yep. Yep.
It's a good
It's
word.
a nice word.
And of course, in these days, we just kind of look at science to mean knowledge, but it's not where it's coming from. But the one thing I would add to this is you talking about people around the world being ungrateful. And
Yep.
I think that's kind of part of the problem, but not maybe in the way you would think.
Okay.
Because we gave stuff freely. The West gave away knowledge freely without expecting any appreciation.
Right.
We didn't ask for anything in return. It simply was the right thing to do. And because we don't expect any kind of praise or thank you or anything like that, I think has brought us to where the problem we have today. Because look at all the people bitching and complaining. They don't understand that, well, you have been given the freedom to do that. There are plenty of times in history and places still today in the world where you can't speak like that, right?
Right.
And we've given it to them with no pushback and no expectation of a thank you whatsoever. And in a way, that's kind of a weakness. I know it sounds horrible, but it's true. And this goes along with a lot of things. White people are just not very tribal. We have a few moments and a few little groups here or there, but in general, we're not. But this is part of our makeup. I mean, like I said, we are the busy bees of history. We're the ones that are running all over the place, trading and sharing. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, look at that. Let me touch that. And then
Yep.
going back and telling other people about it. It's our nature to kind of move around and interact and enjoy things. And this is anathema to tribal thinking, right? And we've
Right.
seen several moments in history where white people did try to get a little bit tribal, even institutionally tribal. And we look how badly that turned out, a la, Germany or the Soviets, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is what it is, and it brings us where we are. But I do love the fact that so many foreigners are coming into America for the first times in their lives and realizing, oh shit, America's actually pretty nice. Now, some of them are having experiences in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New York, of course, LA, they're going to have here in the West Coast. And they're going to get a little bit of a harsh shock from those places. But all this other stuff in the rest of the normal America, they're just loving it and eating it up. And that's great. I'm glad they're enjoying themselves, even though the average America has no clue what the World Cup is.
Right.
So there's that. But did you know that the World Cup was taking place in America?
Yes, but only because I was forced to by all of the people talking about it, not because I care.
Well, no, but now FIFA, just so you know, FIFA's very upset, right?
But
Well, first of all, when we think of corrupt sports in the world, what are the first two that come to your mind?
boxing and soccer.
Boxing and soccer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sad, but that's the truth.
The two
Um,
probably the two oldest sports that are at a professional level, and they're corrupt
they're
as hell.
corrupt as hell. Now FIFA's all upset, and they've had a couple of scandals already because they are trying to rig stuff, as they always do. But they're very upset because America, the American soccer team, was given a spot because we're the host country. Well, fair enough. That's pretty normal, right? We do that with Olympics as well. The problem is these dumb little American team, soccer team, weren't supposed to do anything. They're silly Americans. They don't even like soccer, which is true. They won
Yep.
their game. They didn't just win it; they dominated the hell out of it. So now FIFA's all worried that the Americans actually might make it into the final rounds, and that's not their plan. That's not their scheduled commercialism of their stuff. They don't want to. They of course don't want to praise and have to cheer the Americans. Oh my God, right? So
Heaven
they're
forbid.
literally openly speaking like this. I'm not even joking.
Heaven
Unbelievable.
forbid.
Heaven forbid. Talk about ungrateful, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This
They
will
sure
probably
are.
be the most successful, the most advanced, the most relaxed, and the most safe, World Cup they've ever had, and they're bitching already because America won a game. Wow, wow, right? Because this rioters. Damn it! Why can't I say that word? Say that word.
Rioters.
Hooliganism.
Hooligan rioters.
Thank you. We'll do that. Neither one of us could do it. Okay. Uh, it is quite unique to soccer, right? We don't see that
Yeah.
in other sports. Football is a freaking blood sport, and we see no rioting, no violence at all after the game. Matter of fact, we see people cheering up, drinking beer, and having barbecue. Right? Is what we see.
Right.
But soccer is lots of violence, right? Now, to be fair, we did get some violence in New York here after the Knicks lost and the Knicks won. It didn't seem to matter, but that's a very different problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, we don't put up with that kind of nonsense in America. We do not, especially in these red cities, right?
Hmm.
So if any of them get out of line and start trying to do their hooligan shit, they're going to get got. So we'll see how
And they're
that
not going
works
to like
out.
it much.
They're not going to like it much. Now, in the blue places, they
American
might get away with
police.
it.
American police aren't like them soft Euro police that just calm down, everybody. No, no, we hit people with stuff.
Hell yeah,
We'll
we
do
do.
it.
We will
We'll do
shoot
it.
you.
No, we will shoot you dead. And you know what? They'll probably get away with it. So just so we're clear, the law's on their side 99% of the time when a cop shoots you. Just so we're clear, guys. So you might want to chill.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see how it goes. It should be interesting. But for right now, all these foreigners are having a great old time. They're enjoying it. They can't believe America is actually what America is. So
Yeah.
rock on. Now, Grimlock, you're down in Georgia, I believe, and they do have some of those cups going on down there in Georgia and the Carolinas, don't they?
No, it's in Florida. It's in Florida, and I am not in Georgia. Don't you dare curse me with being anywhere near Atlanta.
Sorry, you're in North Dakota. No, I mean North Carolina, right?
No, in
Damn
South
it,
Carolina.
South Carolina. Well, that's not better.
Listen, he's in Carolina. All right, he's in one of them.
He's from Stephen Colbert's
If,
hometown. That's where he's from.
if they do better, don't you dare associate me with that little faggot. I will I will come to Japan and stab a kaiju.
Oh God. Okay, but
No, it's funny hearing FIFA's committee pretend that they give a shit about safety. You fucking hosted the World Cup in Qatar. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
that's true.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad. By their own rankings, the United States is like 17, ranked number 17.
Mm-hmm.
In what?
I mean, in in the international rankings,
Yeah.
which
No,
is pretty
no.
fucking
Which is probably not so bad. But
yeah.
Americans, we have no clue.
Top 20 in the international. That's especially considering the USA is usually not in that realm. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, they sounds like they have a good team this time. Good for them. But
They
I
do.
couldn't I couldn't
I,
name
I,
a
I watched
single
the game.
American soccer player, not one.
I watched the game. It was pretty good. It was nice to see some young lads represent the country pretty well. There was no bullshit. There was no I'm gonna kneel or do this or do that. There was none of that shit.
Yeah, and they scored 4
And,
points, which is a lot for soccer.
and surprisingly, in LA, it was very patriotic. A lot of USA being chanted.
Sure. Well, a lot
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
Latinos do love soccer.
Well, there's a lot of white people in that ground.
Well, there you
I
go.
was looking.
Yeah, well, it's a big event. Why not go to it? Check it out. I mean, I've never been to a soccer game. You guys?
No.
No,
No, I've never seen one. I mean, I played soccer as a kid, but that was just like open field, parents standing on the sideline type shit, right?
yeah.
Although my parents never came.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
Yeah, my parents never attended any of my sports or music stuff, especially music stuff. I think my mom showed up to a few to pick me up after sports. But music stuff, I always had to get rides from other people, and my parents never attended any of that shit. Oh well.
Hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah. You know what it taught me though at a young age? If you want it, get it done yourself.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Yep. That's where I got my education on that. So but nevertheless, that's happening. We have the UFC thing happening, which I'll talk about here in a minute. And what else we got going on? Uh, I don't even want to speak on China right now because it's out of control. There's so many people have been disappeared over the past few weeks. There's been so many riots been put down. I mean, there's probably dead people, but we just can't get the information. They now
Yeah.
put in a new law that's forcing women to get pregnant or else. Okay, that's a
So
good
rape.
idea. Basically, it's not the first time they've done things like this. Keep that in mind. So I don't even want to cover China right now. I'm going to wait and see how that gels out because something's going to break one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, I've mentioned before, they are having some restriction in money, mainly because of all their reliance on Iran, which they shouldn't have done to begin with. But that's going to pan out. Indonesia, it's booming, but at the same time, it's so fragile. If something bad happens, it'll collapse. So there's that. The Australians are stupid. Let me reiterate: Australia, stupid. Okay. Britain, can we save it? Who knows?
If we invade it and replace the monarchy, I think it's time for the old Windsors to be usurped.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
I don't know.
They've been
It's in
around
such
long
bad
enough.
shape. France is burning, but when is it not? The
Yeah, it's
Germans,
France.
their economy's collapsing. They're going bankrupt. Most of their big companies are bankrupt, and they've been kicked out of pretty much every seat they held within the UN and the EU. So Germany's collapse is wow, shocking. How fast that took. That happened, dude. How fast. No one's talking about Ukraine and Russia. The few people that are, they're acting like Ukraine is winning something when nothing at all is happening actually. The Ukrainians have
So
had a
status
couple.
quo.
Yeah. But the Ukrainians have had a couple of successful, drone attacks here or there, but nothing has actually changed. But if you listen to anybody who talks about it, you would think otherwise. Um, the Middle East is shockingly unified against one enemy, which is kind of good. And that's another factor behind why Trump is stalling all this because he knows right well. Everybody knows
Oh
that
no,
no
he's
deal.
done. He's done stalling. He's got it.
Yeah, maybe, but I think that it was intentionally so. He was doing something intentionally. But you can't make a deal with the IRGC. They're not going to honor it. We all know
Well,
that.
he knows that,
Yeah.
but it's fine as long as because the more they dishonor it, the more they give carte blanche to just keep hitting them with stuff. Uh, the problem is just like in other places, the people over there simply don't want to be free. We can make all the excuses we want. We can say it's scary. It's this. That. At the end of the day, those people are choosing to be slaves.
They
That's what
are.
they're doing.
And
Trump
let me
took out the entire military apparatus. He had them crippled. He killed 3 or 4 or 5, whoever he knows how many other direct leaders, like their supreme leaders.
17 actually.
Yeah. He just kept taking them out. he gave them every opportunity they could ever want, and they just said no. Basically, a couple of them tried. Well, I say a couple, but you know what I mean. Some of them tried,
Couple of groups.
and then they just kind of gave up. And if you don't want it, you don't want it. That we can't force people to want to be free. You can't.
No.
We've learned. I would hope we've learned that lesson throughout the West, but it seems like it's a lesson we keep having to learn. But also, Trump got what he wanted. One, he admitted that he took a lot of their oil. They had been taking their oil pretty much the entire time.
Of course.
Because of course they have. Because duh. He also got rid of their uranium. He got rid of all all of it, as far as I know, as far as we know. That whole system they were building, that they weren't building forever. Remember, everybody kept saying they're not doing it, and then once it came out that Trump wanted them to stop doing, but they don't have to. Wait a minute, I thought they weren't doing it. And now he got rid of that, as far as we know. The Strait's back open completely. He's going to move the Navy out. I think he already ordered them out, which is good. Yeah. So it's basically back to business as usual, except Iran's crippled, and now the entirety of the Middle East hates them openly because they bombed them for no fucking reason. Yeah. There was absolutely no reason to hit the UAE. UAE didn't have anything to do with us hitting them. Nothing. Did nothing to do with it. But for some reason, they started bombing the UAE. They started firing at Saudi Arabia. Like, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
I could guess at their strategy if you'd like.
Tell me.
It's my opinion, though, so I usually don't give opinions, but this is one. There's a mix of two things. One, there is no single head to the snake in Iran right now, right?
Yeah.
There are many disparate parties, right? And some of them they have the old Muslim hate, Shia versus Sunni, right? You have some of that. But I think mainly what they were trying to do was, if they cause trouble because keep in mind, these Arab oil masters over there, they buy a lot of weapons from us, but they never use them. Right? They always use proxies. And the Iranians see them as being afraid to get into combat. So what they were trying to do was to force them to whinge and whine to the Americans, hoping the Americans would reverse course and stop. Of course, if they had stopped and said, "Oh, right, we're not dealing with Democrats, we're dealing with Donald fucking Trump," they would have probably done something different. But I think that's probably why it's a mix of those two things. They were trying to put pressure on America to stop because they think that we're actually beholden to Arab oil countries, and it's like,
and we're not.
No, we're not. Yeah.
All of these preconceptions that America is beholden to anybody. They're beholden to Israel. No, that was true. They wouldn't spend so much time and effort and money trying to make sure they can keep control of certain politicians, Israel. They wouldn't do that if they already had control. Yeah. They don't have control. They want control. Let's not pretend. But of course they do. Everybody wants the control of the imperial seat. Of course they do. China's spending trillions of dollars trying to get as much influence as they can in this country. Yeah. That's just reality.
They even have baby factories.
OPEC is our bitch. That's the truth of it. No one wants to say it. Everyone wants to be nice. But at the end of the day, they need us. We do not need them. We have more oil, and we keep finding more oil. Huge reserves of oil all over this country than they have in the entire Middle East. There's more oil in Colorado alone than all of the Middle East combined. All of it. Yeah. And we don't touch it. We don't even touch it. We just it's there. We'll leave it there. It's fine.
We are now, though.
But yeah, because Trump's like, no. We're gonna get to that oil.
Yeah, we're getting to it. And there are two other countries that are in a similar situation in their stupidity. One is Australia. Yep. Australia has a gigantic pool of oil sitting underneath them that is bigger than Saudi's reserves. Much bigger.
Yep.
Right?
Just chilling.
Now, to be
hanging
fair,
out.
It is the type of oil that must be fracked out. Let's be
That's
fair.
Right.
It's not like beautiful, sweet oil like America has.
But let's also be fair. The places where a lot of that oil is no one fucking lives there anyway.
Yeah.
Australia has a whole lot of uninhabitable land because it's so extreme, right. But it's perfect for fracking operations.
That's right.
They're just captured by eco-fascists, effectively.
Right. So they could do something about it. It would take some money. It would be a mega project, sure. But they could solve their own problem. They're not. Easier than
Yep.
that is Britain. The North Sea
Yep.
is full of freaking oil, so much so that the Norwegians can't even keep up with it,
That's
right?
right.
They've kind of given up. It's like, oh well, we are making so much money anyway. It does not matter, right? Or I don't know
Yeah, they're
exactly what that
communists.
was.
They have so much oil money. They're communists.
That's
The
right.
Norwegians.
But the Brits could easily go bring their own oil and not have to sweat any of it. But do they? No,
No,
no.
no. They'd rather bring in a bunch of Muslims
Yep.
to rape and pillage their women.
They would
That's
rather
what
do
they're
that,
about.
which I don't know
Yeah.
the end game. But nevertheless, do keep in mind that all of Europe has shut down their nuclear power plants and all that nonsense going on,
Except France,
except for France.
for some
And
reason.
what is America doing? Building more, baby.
That's right. That's
A
the
lot
move. That's
more.
always been the move. It's been the
Yeah.
move for 70 years since us invented the shit. By the way, don't get credit for it ever. It was us. Since we invented it, it's been the move for 70 years. And oh, but it was a foreign. Yeah, but what did he call himself? He didn't call himself a foreigner. That motherfucker called himself an American. Suck it. He's an American. We took him. We said we'll be having you, and he came over, and that was it.
Well, that
now
is
he's ours.
history anyway. That is who we
It's
are.
like Elon. Elon's American now. Suck it, South
right.
Africa. You could have had Elon.
You could
You
have.
could have, but
Yeah.
no. You had to be all gay and shit. So he's over here now.
That's right. That's right. But of course, keep in mind there are many alternative energy sources that are being worked on right now, right?
That's right.
And many of them look quite promising. However,
Yep.
maybe the biggest one, maybe not the Sapphire Project one, that could be the future actually, but we'll see.
Yep.
But one thing that they have successfully done, and this is something that could be converted easily, is why I say it's important. It's like the ammonia engines or the synth
Yes.
oil engines that Mazda and Toyota have built, because you
Yep.
can put whatever you want in there, right?
Right.
Scientists have successfully created cold fusion, clean nuclear. They have done
That's
so
right.
finally, right?
Yep.
It's working. Therefore, these mini plants that are a lot like the size of a room in your house, they're very small, right?
That's right.
Comparatively. These things are being built as we speak, and they will come in normal nuclear, but they can be converted over to this cold fusion system quite easily and cheaply, right?
Yep.
So we'll see how that I'm keeping a very close eye on that.
That's the big one. Cold fusion's the big one. We get that, and we get Star Trek Future real fast.
We do.
Real fast. You can even make a warp engine if you get cold fusion. Not even exaggerating. That's what they've said they need. They need a cold fusion stable reaction to produce enough energy to make, I can't remember the name of it, but the warp bubble engine. That they already have it conceptualized, and by all that we know of physics, it should work.
It'd be a
but we don't have the power.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We don't have the power. We can't generate enough power to do it because you need like power that you can't even quantify in your brain levels. Yeah. But these could do it. Cold fusion reactors could do it.
Yeah.
And so
do it safely, which is the important factor.
Yes.
But there is something that happened a little while ago that happened very quietly. No one talked about it. The Democrats didn't yell and scream, which I'm kind of surprised about. But very quietly, the Trump administration has put forward changes to ALARA. And ALARA is as low as reasonably available. And what that means is what amount of radiation is allowed to exist around a nuclear device, right?
Yes.
Now, that has been in place since we did this shit way back when. And our restrictions on ALARA were so ridiculously tight that as you walk around your normal day outside, cutting your lawn, you get more radiation exposure than you do to the current ALARA regulations, right?
Right.
So what they're doing is moving it to a reasonable number, right? That's not going to kill you, right? But it's many factors higher than where ALARA has been for a long time. So them doing that quietly months and months ago told everybody like, oh shit, something's coming, right? And of course now this past couple of months we see what's coming, and I didn't even know it at first. I suspected, but I didn't know until confirmed. Dude, they are dropping these little mini nuclear power plants everywhere, everywhere.
Yep,
And the main purpose of it isn't for you; it's for the AI data centers,
that's right.
right?
Which they
Um,
are real obsessed with these data
they
centers.
are
There's something they're
boy.
not telling us.
There is something.
I'm telling you,
There is
because
something.
this is crazy how much money is being pumped into these data centers.
Yeah, trillions of dollars.
Crazy.
Trillions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they made it, and when you see them making deals with the Japanese to come in and do something, you know it's serious.
Yes.
Because, we do business with them for one reason. Well, one, I think they're actually our only real ally in the world anyway.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much.
the reason you bring Japanese in to do something, because they do what they say.
That's right.
They do what they say.
Well,
And they're
well,
capable of
Tinker
getting
Elves
done. And they will
get
put
done.
frickin' 16 hours a day into it.
Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
when you see them making deals with the Japanese for shit, you know it's serious.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it, but it's something because they are very devoted to it.
Clearly. And it isn't something as simple as you being able to enjoy making little videos
No,
or replacing data call centers or anything like that. That's not the purpose. It's
no.
bigger than that. We can already
They
do
also have the
that.
yes, and they have for the most part. Um, they're starting with the new plans. Elon, one of his other things he wants to do is he wants to build. He's already got a satellite network up there, but he wants to build an actual structure that satellites the Earth for these data centers. Put data centers up in space because one, you don't have to worry about cooling them because it's space, and two, you don't have to take a bunch of land and territory and stuff.
Right.
So it's a good
Space does
idea.
bring its own problems, but I get your point. I
Yes,
get your
it's a
problem.
good idea.
Yeah.
I want to know how they're going to pretend that when they build the moon base, how they're going to pretend they just now built the moon base. Because they've had a moon base for a while.
I'm
I don't know
sure.
who we're kidding.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
They
I'd
probably
be
got
very
shit ton of
surprised if
moons.
there's not a moon base up there.
Yeah.
Probably. I'd be very surprised if there's not at least a moon base.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well,
but I'd be very
well,
surprised.
just keep in mind, technically, as far as the information we have, right? Humans
Yep.
have never entered space, as far
Right.
as the information we have. Now, because a lot of people don't seem to understand, the moon is not in space. The moon is inside the Earth's atmosphere. A
Right.
lot of people don't get that. I don't know why. They teach you this in elementary school. The
No.
moon is within the atmosphere. It's not
Well, people
in
don't
open
understand
space.
the atmosphere is more than just what we breathe. There's many layers to the
Oh
atmosphere.
yeah. Yeah,
Many,
but
many, 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 and the moon is right on the edge of them.
sure, but have you not seen those satellite imagery showing the planet and the solar winds hitting our atmosphere and the atmosphere buffering it around it? You've seen it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
And do you not notice the moon is sitting right there inside those nice little buffering waves? It's right there.
Yeah, it's very interesting how close the moon can get. So when you get one of them big moons, right, those big giant harvest moons, it's very obviously inside the atmosphere. It's huge. It's
It is
way too
huge.
close. There's no way it couldn't be.
Yeah.
And still keep orbit. I would say pretty much anytime something orbits a body like a planet, especially an atmospheric one, which there are other ones out there that we've seen that have high atmospheres like ours. Um, Most likely, it's going to be within one layer of its atmosphere. Just because,
Sure.
I mean, by what we understand, what they tell us anyway, gravity is the force of gravity. That's what keeps it circling us, right? Is gravity. Well, then why? Obviously, it's in the atmosphere,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Because how
but
could it not be?
the atmosphere
How could it
itself
not be?
is the atmosphere itself is what keeps it from slinging off into space, right?
Yes, it's the
And
firmament. Oh,
yeah, that thing. Yeah. But
oh,
so technically, as far as NASA is concerned, we've never actually been in space. Now, I don't believe that. I think we most certainly have sent people up there. I think we have a base on Mars, let alone the moon.
yeah.
Um, Chester's a Fed. Thanks, Maple Shake. Thank you. Well, how am I a Fed for simply pointing out something you learned in elementary school science class? I mean, what the hell?
Gotcha. We got him.
They got him. They got him. But anyway, so there is something going on with the AI data centers. I don't know what it is. Something big is coming anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, they always try to orchestrate the reset because we call it that these days, but it's still a reset. But it's just like, we got to think about terminology sometimes, guys, right? Let's shift on to another form of terminology that it gets people upset, and it's just we have to think about just the terminology. For a long time, they've been going on about we live in a simulation, right? And if you go
Yep.
look at the evidence that they put forward to it, it's all very science based. There's no speculation. There it is theory, but it is very science based. But if you look at every point they say, instead of saying we live in a simulation, you could say we live in a creation created by a creator. You could use the same
Yes.
terminology. All it is science lingo for religion. That's all it
Yep.
is, right?
Yep.
All the points they make are the exact same points that a religious person would make,
That's right.
particularly a Christian. They're no different,
That's right.
right? So now some of the words they use, we'll talk about it being more comparable to a video game, buffers and limits and pixel lengths, meaning the plank length being a pixel, right?
Hmm.
Et cetera, et cetera. But it's all, if you sum it all up, it's just simply a scientific atheist way of saying God did it.
That's right.
So, we
Well,
have
at
to
the end of
think
the
about
day,
terminology sometimes.
I think the reason why most of humanity is theistic to some level, and I personally don't believe in atheists. I think it's a cope.
It is a
But
cope.
regardless, uh, is because at the end of the day, one of two things has to be true. Either God exists and therefore miracles, or God doesn't exist and therefore somehow a miracle called existence.
Yeah.
That's
Either
it.
way.
You can't.
Yeah.
Either way, there's a miracle because it shouldn't have happened.
That's
There's
right.
nothing in the what we would call the source code of reality that says reality should exist at all, especially not
Matter of fact,
life.
here's the interesting thing about reality, it only exists when you look at it.
That's right. When the
Explain that to me.
creator when the creator perceives it, and by the way, in basically every religious mythology, the creator of the universe puts their creative energy into us, and then we become a surrogate, if you will, of the creator.
Yeah.
That's what makes humans special amongst his creations, is we are him, it, whatever. And in Christianity, they're called the image bearers. He literally says he breathes life into Adam. Literally breathes it into him. Uh, God does, and there's a difference between nothing else is said like that. No other creature, no other creation is said like that. Not even the angels. None of
Not
them.
even the original humans that were created.
Yes, only this version of humanity. Why? You have to ask him. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it makes sense when you think about the what we know scientifically now, or at least it hasn't been disproven, that reality is only reality as we understand it when we observe it. And at other points, it's not. It becomes something else, or just doesn't exist at all. That makes sense
Yeah.
because that, according to all the religious texts of merit, especially Abrahamic ones, life, humanity, all of this is ours. It was made for us. This is why it's here. So, of course, it only exists when we perceive it, because that's its point, that's its function. And we corrupted it in Christian ethos, right, with sin, and God had to cursed everything for it. But regardless, it's still ours. And he says that. I said it earlier. His first commandment, his first gift and responsibility he gave to humanity was dominion over all things. Dominion. Not just you're here. This is yours. This is yours. He literally brings the animals before Adam and says, name them because they're yours.
Yeah.
They're your responsibility.
And actually, Eve bitched about that. If you didn't know, if you never read that.
Yes, of course she did.
But anyway, but no, if you're an atheist, the amount of arrogance that you have to
Yeah,
be an atheist is insane. I'd say the least you can be is an agnostic. I don't know and I
yeah,
don't want to know. Okay, fine,
yeah.
right? I mean, but
That's
atheist
fine.
saying that's the arrogance is insane, dude.
Yeah, I agree. And if you ever met any of them, they're all arrogant, insufferable pricks.
Yes,
They're
I
not
have.
people you'd want to hang out with or talk to.
They're called Egyptologists.
Oh, they're the biggest mythologists around. What are we talking about?
Shut up. It's my ward.
It's funny because I, for a long time, when I was a young man, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an Egyptologist because I still think Egypt's so cool. Like, ancient Egypt is cool. There's so much about it that's cool. But then I started studying and looking into it and like, oh, no, these people are weird. These Egyptologists are weird.
Although I just got paid money to write several articles and pieces for the Tutmosis II tomb that's been found.
Nice.
Yeah, I said, take that, Egyptologist. Yeah, that's right, Maple Chic. I'm an anti-Egyptologist fed. Okay.
That's right. Good. That's the good kind. That's the good kind. He doesn't worship the eye, the great eye.
No, I don't. No, definitely not. Although I don't want to go into a rant on that. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump over and talk about some fun stuff, shall we? We shall. All righty here. Where are we going to look here? Oh, here we are. Now, first things first, we'll have a little bit of fun before we get into some of the stupidity. So let me go ahead and bring this up for a moment. And I went and saw a movie this
There
week.
it is. You saw it, did you?
I did. Well, I had to go pick up my suit, but the cuffs had not been adjusted properly the way I wanted them, so I got to wait a couple weeks. But that's all right. No rush. I just wanted a suit that wasn't black and or blue. So I went with charcoal gray, as you do. Nevertheless,
as you do. Good choice.
I'm
Good
not
compromise.
in a rush, is my point. I do have suits for what I need, but I just wanted a different one. Nevertheless, so I also went and saw a movie with the wife because we enjoy going to the cinema. Like the weekend before, I went and saw a Mortal Kombat 2. It wasn't good.
Yep.
But it was still nice to go to the theater though, because it's been so long.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And we enjoyed this at the cinema as well. Now to compare it, my wife's vote for Mortal Kombat 2 was a 3. I will give this a 5.5.
5.5.
5.5. And we had a good time. The first thing I'll say about this is this. It's colorful.
Lots of color. I saw that in trailers and such. Yeah.
God, dude. Now, of course, the Mario stuff is too, but that's a cartoon, right?
But it's Mario.
Yeah, it's Mario. But so many movies these days are so washed out that in some
they're
scenes,
drab.
They are, but in some of these scenes of these modern movies, it literally looks like a black and white movie.
Yes.
Right? They're so washed out.
Yes.
So it was really nice to see so much color on the screen. Now, this is a comedy. And that's not, I don't have a problem with that. Although I would say this is putting its toe into parody, Ville. So if you don't like that, that might be irritating to you. There were a couple of moments like that. I didn't, parody is mocking, right? But whatever, so that's that. But it does have some comedy. Occasionally, it actually is somewhat chuckle worthy. I don't really have a problem with anything, but I will say this first and foremost, and I don't want to spoil it, but I will say this first and foremost. If Jared Leto wasn't in this movie, it'd be a 3.
Jared Leto. Good old Jared himself as Skeletor. Dude, being a good time.
He kills it. It's so much fun, dude. He's having the time of his life. He's hilarious. It's exactly what Skeletor should be. It's wonderful. Now, the biggest complaint I have about this movie, I really don't. Just go watch it. It's fun popcorn time. You'll enjoy it, and it's colorful. But the nitpicking complaints I will make is this: Idris Elba, who I do like, and so I've seen a few things of his I do like. He sucks as Duncan, a Man at Arms. He sucks, dude. It's unfortunate, and it doesn't make any sense because, of course, they picked that beautiful Italian lady to be sorceress, They have a
Yep.
normal redheaded girl playing Tila,
Wait a
and
minute.
Dad is a
A
black
redhead?
guy. Yeah, redhead. Yeah, I know, right? As
That's
she
not
should be. Well,
loud.
she should be. She is redhead. Tila is redheaded.
All right, we
But
got to get a hold of we got to get a hold of Hollywood. We can't be having redheads.
can't be
They
having
told me
redheads.
they weren't doing them anymore.
Yeah. But and then you have a
Don't
very
worry, she's
black.
Latina with dyed hair.
Well, that's true. That is true.
You're
But
not.
then you have a very, very black man as dad. It doesn't make sense. And
Like
honestly,
charcoal black Idris. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, if Idris, and it's not like situational Carl Urban in Mortal Kombat, he just didn't have anything to chew on. I mean, he was Carl.
Right.
He was fine. It's just he had nothing. They gave plenty of screen time to Idris. He just sucked, dude. It really wasn't
Suck the
good.
life out of it, huh?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Maple agrees with me on Men at Arms. Yeah, just not good, dude. And they could have brought in any kind of like aging 50 something action hero from the past, like from the 90s. They could have brought them in to play Men at Arms and it would have been fine. Because nobody else in this thing is really recognizable.
You know who they should have got? Dolph Lundgren.
He does a cameo in it.
But he should have played Man at Arms.
He could have. Yeah, he
Yeah.
could have.
It would have made more sense. What he's, as far as I know, unless he's fallen apart. Last time I saw him, he was still jacked. So
He's got serious knee trouble, dude. Serious knee trouble.
Ah,
Now, to be fair,
that's a shame.
when Idris is playing Men at Arms, meaning action, he's actually great. It's when he talks.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it's not good. So I don't care for that. Tila is neither here nor there, but it's just another typical Hollywood mean, nasty, know-it-all female.
Yeah.
It's just the same shit we get over and over again, right? So, I mean, but that's not a big complaint. You got that. And the other big complaint I have is this. The whole movie is mocking woke culture. Okay, fine. Great. We all know it's silly.
Right.
But the problem is they do it the whole damn movie. It's like, I get it already. Wokies are stupid. I agree with you. But
We agree. We're on the same
dude,
page. Can we move on?
relax. The whole movie is just one mock after another mock on Wookiee culture. And the initial stuff, great, I get it. But they kept coming back to it. And it felt kind of forced, you know?
Right.
But that's it. Otherwise, go watch it. It's fun. The characters are well represented. Everyone's having a good old time. The action scenes are pretty good. Adam, the guy, I don't know who this kid is, but he plays weak, scared, trembling little Adam pretty well. And then him as He-Man seemed fine. Yeah, I have no complaints. I enjoyed it. The complaints I have are nitpicky, really. But I have to really strongly push the point that if Jared Leto is not in this movie, it's a 3.
Not a good film.
Right. Yeah, they
Carries
did
it. For
make him
once
a
in his
drunk.
career, he finally carries it.
Oh, dude, he's great. He's wonderful. And that's one of the reasons you don't like Men at Arms. They turned him into a drunk. And it's like, why? Right? To be honest with you, I get
Yeah.
why they put him on Earth because they wanted separation. They wanted to make the woke joke. I get it. But we didn't need that. We didn't need any of that. Skeletor takes over, they retreat, and it takes years before Adam is ready. You could have done that story as well, right? But they
Right.
didn't. And you know, the kind of modern life in America, and of course it doesn't matter. It's just a stupid little action hero movie. It doesn't matter, but they kept talking about Tila, particularly going on about how hard it's been for the past 15 years, how hard it's been, how hard it's been. She goes over and over on this, right? You know, to Adam, and it's like,
Right.
well, okay, but Adam was a 10-year-old boy thrown through a space dimensional portal, dropped on an alien planet all alone, left alone for 15 years. Who do you think had it
Right.
harder, him or you, who's forming a rebellion with all your buddies? I mean, fuck off. I mean, it's just a dumb little action movie. It doesn't matter. But it's like, you know, a little bit of self-awareness would be nice, you know? A little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at pictures of Adolf Lundgren right now. No, he should be Man at Arms. 100%. He could pull that off, no problem.
They could have done that, yeah.
He still looks great. He beat cancer. I mean, the man. Listen, he's got a resume that's absolutely retarded. The things this man has done.
Yeah,
he's crazy. He's crazy. He beat cancer. He's got multiple degrees, multiple doctorates, I believe. Speaks multiple languages. Oh, and he also was built like an actual literal statue when he was in his prime. So,
and he was actually a karate champion or taekwondo.
Yes, one of them, martial artist.
Yeah.
No, he's a badass, a genuine Renaissance man, old Lundgren, and his daughters are gorgeous. So those genes did pass. Good for him.
Yeah, but he does get a cameo, and it's sweet. But it's also very tongue in cheek. But I go watch it. It's a fun little popcorn film. It's great, and do your best to focus on Skeletor when he's there. Pay attention to what he's saying because God is hilarious. His last little speech in the movie is it's the last poke at wokeness, by the way, but it's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, no,
now this is going to be the new trend.
Curious. I hope so. Curious says
the new trend is
yeah, I get that, but we didn't really need it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The new trend is going to be you're going to have a lot of movies like that are targeted to a male audience that are going to be poking at lefty bullshit. It's been happening actually for a while now. The problem is there's going to be what sounds like this movie does, an overcorrection, and they're going to focus too heavily on it, and it's going to be a detriment to because the reality is most of us, we don't want you to do either of it. We want to go to a Masters of the Universe movie and be in Masters of the Universe, not in our universe talking about woke bullshit one way or the other. Just leave it alone.
But to be fair, you do get a lot of Eternia, and it is fun. You do get Masters of the Universe. It is fun. And Eric says, there might have been one or two too many Fisto jokes, but they didn't shy away from them. No, they didn't. My favorite joke was to Ram Man. Fisto says, give him head, Ram Man. And he looks at him, and then Fisto says, I'm sorry.
That's silly. The real problem with this movie, Chester, is it's one of the biggest flops of all time.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that later.
No money.
It doesn't need to be, though. And I think a lot of the nonsense, of course, they let some of the actresses get out and say dumb shit. That's one. And two, this just incessant hate of Jared Leto. Now, I'm going to read this and then ask a question to the chat and to these guys. Maple Chic says Gerard Butler should have been Men at Arms and Dolph should have been King Grayskull. I agree with that, 100%. Now,
the problem with Gerard, I read that too. The problem with Gerard is he's out of shape. He's got to get himself back in shape if he's going to be playing Man at Arms, in my opinion.
You could have covered that up, and Gerard is.
He's pretty bad. He's pretty rough.
Yeah, but he's done that before. But
in fairness, Russell's getting in shape. Old Russell Crowe, he's looking lean. I just saw a video of him. He's looking good. He
himself down, didn't he? Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he looks good.
Good for him. Now, anyway, my question is this, all right? And I just forgot my question. Damn
it. Your question's about Jared Leto.
Oh, Jared Leto. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know him very well. I've seen him in three things. I saw him in as the Joker a little bit. He was barely there. That's not necessarily his fault because the Joker is not a gang leader. He's not a gang boss. Okay, whatever. That sucked. I saw him in Morbius, which I liked, and I saw him in this, which I loved. So could someone please explain to me what is this intense hate of Jared Leto? I mean, he's a mid-tier guy anyway. What's the deal, man? Someone explain this to me.
Well, he's very cringy as a human being, but he's Hollywood, so that's a lot of them. But it's also, for a lot of people, I think it's that Joker. I think ever since he did that Joker, people just like, nah, we're good. That was the gayest, most retarded Joker we've ever seen. Wasn't even the Joker. I don't know what the hell it was supposed to be, but that wasn't the Joker. And I think a lot of people just never quite forgave him for that because a lot of that was him. You're giving credit to the wrong person. That was his idea. That was his iteration. He was pissed when they cut most of it because he was supposed to have something like 40% of the movie was about him and Harley, and they cut almost all of it out of there. Besides the few scenes he's in, and then obviously he came back to do Zack Snyder's Justice League second version. He's at the end of that, but I think that's a lot of it. Plus, he's just like a weirdo, like a real he's like not quite as bad as Ezra Miller, but he's a weirdo. He has his own little cult. He's also he's just been one of those guys who he just seems to have. You know how some people it's more fun to hate them than it is to like them. He's one of those guys, I think, and I think it's just I don't think it's going away. He's got that go away heat. Like they say in wrestling, when somebody's they got heat, but it's not the kind you want. It's the kind where people just don't want to see him so much so that they'd rather not watch it all than to see him. Well, that's what he's got.
Okay.
Go away heat.
I don't really pay attention to anything outside the movies. I don't watch gossip stuff. The cult thing, I don't know. I saw a little bit on that, and keep in mind he's my age, and he looks like he's 30, and he's a beautiful little man. I didn't really understand the whole cult thing because it basically looked to me just like a lot of thirsty women wanting to fuck him.
Which he probably did.
Look like.
Probably would happen.
Why wouldn't he?
But I can tell you right now, I don't think you're right. I don't think it's Leto. I don't think he's the reason this movie's failing. The reason this movie's failing is because Hollywood spent the last 15 years. It's been longer than 10. People think it started in 2016. It started a lot longer than that. Last 15 years telling the male audience they're bad, wrong, and we don't want you here. In one way or another, whether either indirectly by constantly marketing to women and young girls or directly by telling them exactly those words. We don't want you here. So you know what the male audience did? Okay. And you're not getting them back now. It's going to take you, they're not going to put in the effort it takes to get them back. They're going to try and pander to them. It's not going to work. Masters of the Universe, great example, didn't work. They're going to, by the way, that movie should have been made 20 years ago if they really wanted to make some money. It's way out of relevance. Masters of the Universe is.
I guarantee you this movie is going to pick up cult film status in the future. And as Maple Chic said last week, the frickin' Skeletor is going to be meme to hell. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, dude. There's so many great Skeletor movies.
Which is the only way you might get another one. If it becomes such a big meme that they can get it like a streaming service or something might greenlight it. Because I think it was MGM, right? So that's Amazon. So you have to. Another thing you have to remember: people have to get out of this mindset. We do it a little bit. That the box office is the most important thing. For some studios, it still is. For Amazon, it is not. It's nice. It's a nice little add-on they can put to their movie and to their budgets. That movie's funded.
Already
that movie was funded whole cloth, 100% done. It didn't matter if it made a penny. That movie was funded. It's done. It's going on the streaming service, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing people have to understand.
They did spend money on this, though.
But they have been. I mean, I think like even their shows that they make. Look how much money they spent on Lord of the Rings, for crying out loud, on the Rings of Power. And Bezos ain't hurting. Amazon they didn't hurt them one bit. It was like a tickle to their taint. Didn't do nothing to them. So we're in a different era. Is my point. It's starting to happen organically. I predicted this in 2020 that you're going to see the streaming services. They take over production basically entirely, and that's kind of where we are. Most of the shows that are coming out, even the ones people talk about, they're not on regular television. You know, the last time I heard somebody tell me about a show that's on like ABC, I don't know what the fuck they're playing on there. I haven't heard anybody talk about anything that plays on the networks. Nobody. They still got shows, I know they do, but I have no idea what they are. But streaming services, everybody knows about them. So you're at a point now where what happens at the box office is gravy. It's great. Obviously, they would prefer if it made a ton of money, but if it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal for Amazon, for some of these other places, because that's not where they make their money. This is effectively just a form of marketing to get people to pay for their subscription. And it's brilliant, actually. This is actually a good thing for the consumer, believe it or not. It's also a good thing for the industry itself. It's going to take them some time to adapt, but once they do, they're going to realize there's a lot less pressure on them because they don't need to hit these giant box office milestones to be successful. They just need to make the daddy happy. Whoever their daddy is, whatever their daddy service is, whether it's Apple or Amazon or Netflix, if they're happy, it doesn't really matter what the number says at all because they got what they wanted out of it, and they're
said
fine.
that already. He already said that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But and also last little thing, the kid playing Adam, and of course He-Man, whatever. I mean, he's fine. I had no problem with it at all. Although the
Yep.
quote of the movie, and I'm going to, spoilers, I'm going to give it as far as my favorite one is, "I'm the villain, you fool, and it feels so good."
I like that.
Great.
That's
Yeah,
good.
but he did better than I can. But it was great. It was awesome. And then he went into a wicked attack sequence too. It was really cool.
Nice.
But there were many times we needed the kind of Godzilla da 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 da. We needed that kind of music to be popping.
Yep.
Although the soundtrack's not horrible. It's not horrible. But anyway, I'm going to go get some coffee, and you guys can argue with Maple Chic about the fact that I had heard 30 Seconds to Mars was actually pretty popular.
They had their moment, I'd say. I don't know how popular they are anymore, but they had a moment there where they were decently popular. I think a lot of
the album was pretty good.
Yeah, I think a lot of their the Leto stuff is it's almost a meme to just hate on him. I get it. I get why a lot of people do, but it's also just because most of the movies he's in suck. They're just not good movies. Whether he's fine in them or not, they're not very good. And people get tired of that. People get tired of that mediocrity eventually, especially when he's one of these guys who's shoved down your throat. Ezra Miller's a great example. What was the great Ezra Miller performance? I got nothing. See, before you could be a douchebag like Johnny Depp because the motherfucker could act. Get out there and put out masterpieces. But he was a douchebag. You can't just be the douchebag and then be in B-rate movies at best. Right? At best. You can't do that. You have to be able to, counterbalance the douchebaggery with actual talent. And Leto doesn't really have that as far as an actor. He's a fine musician, I guess. But, and as far as, just natural, personable charisma, he doesn't really have that either. So it's hard to forgive douchebaggery when you're just a douchebag who also happens to have musical ability and can, act decently. I watched Morbius. I didn't hate it either. I don't know why people hated that movie so much. I thought it was fine. It was just the same situation of why was this made? What's the real question I had? But it was fine. It's not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's I don't quite like it as much as Chester does, but I think it's fine. I don't think it's, it sounds a lot like what Master of the Universe is, just fine. It's not trying to be anything more. And I think that's why Jared Leto is so hated. Go ahead.
The problem with Morbius is the same problem that Venom has.
Yeah.
You're telling a story within the Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
That's right.
And yes, you can tell a bit of Morbius' origin without Spider-Man. But he's never been that popular of a character.
Right.
And I'm saying that as a Morbius fan. I spent the $120 on the Mezco Morbius, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I also realize if you're going to do those kind of stories, you have to give him a story. The story that they gave him was okay at best, but I'll say this: it probably would have worked better as a TV series than a fucking.
Yes, which I would say the same thing for Masters of the Universe. I think they did themselves a disservice by not just making this a little 8-episode run and see what it does, kind of like they did with Spider Noir. I think the same thing would have been Morbius, would have been great. Same thing with Venom you could have done. there's stories you can tell around Spider-Man, but mostly you're 100% correct. You're using Spider-Man characters from his universe within Marvel's greater universe without him, and that's stupid because these characters contextually are better. They're just better characters when they have him in it. When they're orbiting him. And the other part about Venom that really sucks is we're probably never getting Venom again in a movie, like a Spider-Man and Venom situation, and that sucks. That really, really, really sucks because Venom is my favorite villain in Marvel, especially of Spider-Man's villains besides Doctor Doom, but he's not Spider-Man villain. And he's awesome. He's a great character. He's a money maker. He's a draw. He's the draw besides Spider-Man in Marvel is Venom. It's crazy how much he draws, and you just don't get him. You don't get him in cinema form. Same thing with Morbius. You're never gonna see him again, most likely, and that's a shame because again, you could make really good. This is the problem with what Marvel's been doing with Spider-Man. The main problem is they keep trying to keep him at a level he is not comfortable at as a character conceptually. He is not a world threat level character. He can be, but usually those are extenuating circumstances that gets him there. Most of the time, he is not that. He's not even city threat guy. He's just, this guy's a piece of shit, I gotta go stop him guy. That's what he is. And that's fine. He doesn't need to be more. And you got guys like Venom or Kraven, my God, or Morbius, who are perfect for that because they give it a more sinister edge of his villain, a different edge than if I don't stop him, the whole city will be destroyed. If I don't stop him, the rift will tear apart reality. That was the last movie. What are we doing? He doesn't need that. Spider-Man doesn't need that. And when you take away his ability to just be, the quote-unquote friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, then you take away half of it, more than half, almost all of his rogues gallery, because, you've basically told the audience this is boring, we're not going to give you this. Even though I personally have said it for years, say it again, you do Kraven's Last Hunt properly, you got a $1.5 billion movie. Easy.
But it's because they don't know how to fucking write. And like you said, because they try to they've gotten into this habit of everything has to be a world changing, reality breaking threat. You can't tell those stories. Like you're missing they're missing out on some good shit. You're missing out on Scorpion because you could do that story. You can do.
Yep.
You can really have J. Jonah Jameson be the dirty, dastardly fuck that he is, where he,
yes,
his obsession with hating Spider-Man creates, it helps create Scorpion, and now you have something way worse on your hands.
Yeah, they did that with Tobey Maguire, yeah.
They
a little bit,
but they didn't really.
They leaned away from it by the end.
Yeah, but they had a little bit of fun with it. I see what you're saying. Actually, with this movie I saw this weekend, they had the theatrical trailer for Spider-Man. It looks god awful.
It does.
And He-Man's problem, besides the race swaps, is again and this is millennial writing. They don't know how to fucking do camp. They don't know how to. They don't know how to freaking do it within in Masters of the Universe. The camp really comes from three sources. Adam, because he's trying to play off that he's He-Man. He's playing the doofus role to keep people from thinking about him. That's his way of protecting people. Yeah, Orko, which again, and this time you don't have the excuse from '87. You have CG. There's no fucking reason Orko's not in this shit.
Well, he was in the
and
end.
I know he shows up at the end, but that's bullshit on a stick.
And our Orko
he should be there. It would have made getting Adam back from Earth, that Orko's the one to go bring him, would have probably been your best comedic moments.
It could have been. That's
Um,
true. But you're right. They don't
yeah,
write correctly. They're not. And the whole Orko, him as the end credit scene was the last woke is stupid joke.
yeah,
It was. That's what
also
they did with it.
Cringer and Ram Man because of the, I guess you could say, the secondary Masters characters. Ram Man usually showed up the most, and he provides a bit of comic relief. And Cringer because all the animals on Eternia are capable of speaking. People can communicate with them.
Yeah.
So no, it's. I'm just waiting for the beat 'em up. The Dragon Pearl should be coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be my man.
Street Fighter, you mean?
No, um, Masters of the Universe: The Curse of the Dragon Pearl.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it's a game.
Let me get you the trailer. My friend,
Okay.
um,
He's getting it
has
together. But I mean,
yeah,
this
some
movie
others.
has a lot of the same troubles modern movies have. The directing isn't super great. The writing isn't really very clever. We just don't get that anymore. We don't have good writers. We don't have good directors. Even the legendary directors of old aren't any good anymore. Spielberg just dropped another movie. What is this, the third or fourth movie in a row that sucks balls? And it's
He's
like,
old.
he is, and it's like, Steven, just go relax with your people and complain about white people. I mean, honestly, Steven, you're a legend.
Yeah, you did it, buddy. You don't
You're
need to prove
good.
anything else.
You're good.
Um, and that's one good thing about George Lucas. You know, he made his masterpiece, if you will, and he just moved on. Basically, he didn't really. I mean, he did some other things here or there, but by and large, he just moved on.
Well, he's super rich. What does he care?
Well, so Spielberg,
I know.
he's a billionaire too.
All
Yep.
right, Chester, I put it in. I put it in the general chat. So if you want to snatch it, there you go.
Okay.
And
It's
you
a
will
side
have to
scroller.
mute
I'm
it.
showing it right now.
Yeah, and you will have to mute it because they brought Stan Bush of the Touch fame to do the theme for this. So
I
just
am
in case.
automatically muted. I'm way ahead of you, dude.
Looks
All right.
good.
Yeah, it's just a little side scroller. It looks fun.
Yes.
To be fair, though, this movie is way more brutal than I thought it would be. People die in this movie, dude. So, there was
Yeah.
that. But and like I said, it's just a good little popcorn fun time. Nothing so serious. The directing isn't super great. The writing isn't particularly funny. No, I know, but it's fine just for something to go to the theater. I just enjoy being in the theater. I enjoy that. That was a
Yeah.
hobby of my wife and I's for a good 20 years, dude. We did that. And fortunately with this modern crap, we just haven't been very often. So I'm
Right.
happy just to be kind of back doing that. Yeah, this looks good. A little fun little side scroller. And it's got that
And
classic
just look
look
at
to
how
it.
cool Man at Arms looks in this freaking game.
Yeah,
You
he
couldn't
does look
give me
cool.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, granted, the release date on that is wrong because it was delayed like
They got Shira
three,
in
two,
here too,
2 weeks
so
after.
and
Yeah, she.
I
You
don't
have
need
to.
any of that crap.
She actually looks good in it.
Yeah, I don't need any of that crap. And unnecessary. Thank you very much.
What,
Um,
Sheila?
yeah, what do I need She-Ra for? I mean, what the hell? It's like, what do I need
Um,
Supergirl
in,
for?
well, in the lore, well, I would say if you've read the DC run, they did a really good job explaining Adora's story. They had some good writers. You fans of Dan Abnett and James Robinson, if you can find the DC Masters of the Universe run, it was really well done.
Of course, you can do stuff with it, but it's unnecessary. We don't need the knockoff version of your hero character. Make something else. One of the very few knockoff characters like that femaleization of the characters. The only one that I actually think they did a good job with was Mary Marvel. That's it. And she's a direct knockoff of
Well,
Shazam, right?
well,
Direct,
the thing is,
untimely.
it's in the DC in the in the more expanded universe, or even in the 2000 animated series, it's not so much as a knockoff, is that since they were split from birth, the way that they explain it, it really ties into fucking Hordak and Skeletor, because that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't care. I
Well, I mean,
truly
fine.
don't give a shit about She-Ra. I really don't. Never did. It's just
Question.
the only reason they created it was to try to get girls to buy toys, and it didn't even work.
Yeah.
It was complete failure. The only She-Ra stuff they sold were to boys, and they didn't really sell very much at all. That's why it died so quickly. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Question.
Hmm.
Watch that video I just posted and tell me it's not the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Okay.
We were talking about this earlier, this UFC situation at the White House, and how it's making everybody angry. Well, not everybody, but you know, the people. Look at them. Right over the White House. Look at them.
Yo.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Zach Brown over there singing. Get him, Zach.
Beautiful.
Yeah. With those
I love it.
those F-18s?
I didn't actually look. Let's see. I didn't pay attention that much. Hang on. What are we doing? Why is this not working for me? Go back. Oh my gosh. Discord. There we go.
A little teeny clip.
There we go. Yeah, that's F-18s.
You know what's funny? Is all of these
Look at Dana.
fucking...
Look at Dana. Sitting up there with Prez.
So this was from last night or tonight?
It's right now, yeah.
Oh, I thought the UFC thing was happening with the whole 250 thing, and
No,
Hey,
it's
this is the
right
start
now.
of it.
It's right now, yeah.
This is how they're kicking it off. The whole celebration. Gladiator fight. I love it.
Get him, Trumpy.
But
Get him.
But you know what the funny fucking shit is, that everybody's trying to, all these disingenuous faggots, because there's no another nice way to say it. You're sitting here complaining about this happening on the White House lawn. I'm like, did Teddy Roosevelt not used to wrestle motherfuckers on the White House lawn?
That's funny. Yeah, no, he did.
I thought y'all knew you're supposed to know your fucking history, right?
Yeah,
Teddy Roosevelt
this is great.
was out there just wrestling niggas on a Wednesday morning for the fuck of it.
Yeah, and all kind of presidents have done events and stuff at the White House. I mean, we do all kind of stuff. Who cares, man? Just having some fun. Relax. If it's not your thing, I mean, that it's not even my thing. But who cares?
Right.
It's just having some fun, man. Relax.
Celebrating the greatness that is America.
Yes, sir, kitten. He's saluting. Good kitten. Okay.
If it wasn't for America, there's so many wonderful things wouldn't exist, including MMA at the level that it's at now. It would still be this small little niche thing they do in Asia.
That's funny. It is cool.
I love it.
Which, of course, brings me to me talking about that. So we got this event. Of course, we talked about all the people yelling and screaming, and just the typical type that just anything Trump does, you got to complain. They actually made lawsuits. Now, keep in mind, we've had some pretty ugly things happen from their side, and you don't see us going and filing lawsuits. Maybe we should. Maybe we
Trump's been doing a little bit more. He's been fighting back with it.
Yeah, no, I think maybe we should file lawsuits against every little thing they do, everything they do, every little march they do, every little event they try to do at a White House or a high school or elementary school or a kindergarten. Every little thing, file a lawsuit. Every little thing, file it. Fight fire with fire. Every single thing, file a lawsuit. Right? Yep. Just do what they do, and let's see how they like it. Right? Because they've been acting with impunity, and it needs to stop. Just give them
all it's done is made them lose.
That's right.
Because, like I said earlier, they've lost South America for the most part. Latin America has come to nationalism with both arms open, lovingly.
Yep.
American conservatives, quote unquote, which is a misnomer to be honest, are embracing their nationalism instead of pretending like it's a bad thing because it was something Nazis did. It's not. That was a nationalistic fight on both sides between two nations, or more than two, but definitely two, that were all nationalistic, except the British, who started the whole thing. But I'm not getting into it.
No.
Everybody else was pretty much just nationalist. But regardless, my point is, they're losing. They're losing everywhere. They're losing hard. And it's going to keep happening. The beatings will continue until morale improves, Chester, and they are insistent on being miserable. Imagine watching that. Imagine watching the glory of America. A man with a beautiful voice, gifted by the Lord, singing about our nation while machines of splendor, glory, and war fly overhead at the same time, perfectly synchronized as he hits that high note. With the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, saluting in the background, and you're like, this is despicable. Imagine just being that miserable. Just miserable. You're miserable. Stop.
And
have some fun.
I do like Zach Brown, actually.
He's all right. He's pretty good.
No, I liked his
the man can sing.
Yeah,
the man can sing.
I don't know if it was his first album, but that album that had the song Chicken Fried on it,
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I did like that. Yeah. But I didn't pay attention to the actual people in the stands. They're all military. And I love how they keep spreading the same lie, but we see this all the time, of course. Yep. First of all, this is not a paid event. It's free. All the tickets are free.
The accuracy.
I know. The American public, taxpayer, didn't pay a penny for this. This was all done through UFC itself, and I'm sure some sponsorship. I think I saw Bud Light somewhere there. But the American people aren't paying for it. It's a free event. But they keep lying. Taxpayers are paying money. It's not a free. It's a for-profit event.
I got one more for you.
They keep lying over and over and over again, and it is ridiculous. But yeah, the timing, of course, perfect.
This other one that I just posted here in the chat there. If you play it, it's not. Well, it's from this. It's from the weigh-ins.
I love David.
Where it was like, he's so happy. He's happy with a pig and shit, ain't he?
He is. He should be. Let's be fair.
No, Trump's his boy. They're boys. They're friends. That's good. I like that. But this other one I posted here, we give our ancestors. Some people do our ancestors shit for believing in omens and portents. I can see why when things like that happen, right? When you have a rainbow right over this monument, right over this beautiful new clean lake, basically that we built, and then lightning just rips through it. It's just beautiful.
I know, but I'm sure that's Trump's fault. He paid somebody for that.
Yeah, that's right. He turned Harp on. He said, "Listen, we got to have a real nice scene here. We're gonna get
this done for me." I saw this earlier. Actually, I saw it still though. I didn't see this thing, but yeah, that's perfect. They're worried about rain.
You just hit one with the bald eagle.
No,
that one. There's that one too. Did you see that one, Chester?
No, I haven't seen that
one. Yeah, I can find that one for you. It's a lady.
I got it.
No, he's got a lady teaching. She's a bald eagle trainer, falconer, but with eagles instead of, falcons.
Here you go.
Oh, no, not that one. I thought you were talking about the one where the lady catches the eagle.
That's all right. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, this should be it, if it'll play. Come on. Twitter, your freaking video player's ass. Yeah, he just asked BB to control the weather. Here you go. This is America right here. Get your falcons out of here. Yeah. We catch eagles. Look at that beautiful thing. We got those around here now. Bald eagles are in Ohio now again.
Bring them back, yeah. That's cool.
Beautiful creature. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's fired up.
All the way down, yeah. But everyone also complaining about him, cleaning up the reflecting pool. It looks great, by the way. Looks great.
Cleaned up the whole city, really. They've been
cleaning something.
Yeah, they're mad that he cleaned something. How dare he? We're a bunch of asshole. Look at him. What a beautiful creature that is. I'm sorry, but I can't look at a creature like that. But yeah, that just happened by luck. That just kind of happened there.
Yeah, no. Benjamin Franklin was completely wrong. You do realize he wanted our national bird to be a turkey.
Fucking turkey.
I get why, but no, Benjamin.
No. Look at this thing. It's majestic,
old
Benjamin.
George had to come in and say, no, we gotta have a little bit of that badassery there, George.
He didn't do that very much, but once in a while, I'd be like, no. You nerds, listen, you nerds. We're gonna do the badass bird, all right?
Yeah, we're doing the badasses. Yeah, thank you very much. Here comes the president. Here he comes. Yeah. He's getting a little bit of Putin treatment. He ain't got the Putin though. No one dominates a hallway like Vladimir Putin.
No, yeah, he's got aura. He's got tons of aura. Putin.
Little teeny guy.
He's just in charge whenever he walks in.
That's right. Yeah. The Marines here. Very nice.
Man, what a job that's got to be. A White House Marine. You just got to wear that suit all day and basically just hang out at the White House, right? You just stand guard at the White House. That's got to be a good gig.
But you also got to be ready to go, though.
Well, of course, but I mean, they're not. How often are they? You know what I mean? It's pretty rare where they're doing much.
Look at this guy. Circus continues. Elect a clown, expect a circus. Okay, well, how is he a clown? They keep saying he's a clown. I don't get that. It's also kind of like saying Elon just got lucky. Elon's an idiot.
He just got lucky. What? He just got lucky 9 times, 10 times. Yeah, he's real lucky.
Super lucky dude. Yeah. Nothing. Okay, so that was that.
It's funny. It's funny because when you look back at history, of course Elon is the one, and the reason why I say that is because he's the one so focused on the future. All the industrialists that were future focused won. All of them, every single one. It was the fact the old money was trying to stop them. Repeatedly. Henry Ford's a great example. He kept getting sued and everything else because he was trying to give his workers a better environment to work in. And they sued him for it. The Dodge brothers did.
Sure.
The sons of bitches said, how dare you make them only work 40 hours a week? Well, he's like, well, yeah, because I want them to go home to their families and have babies. So Henry said, no, can't have that. They need to be in there making cars. That's what the Dodgers wanted. They sued him for it. So it was fiduciarily irresponsible to send his workers home and pay him a decent wage. That's what they said.
Yeah. Look at this right here. They're showing an old picture of the reflecting pool and saying it looks worse than ever.
Well, even if it did, it's still going to get algae in it. Now they actually have ways of cleaning it. Before they didn't. Washington is a swamp, folks. Sorry to tell everybody, but that we're not supposed to be. A lot of America's not supposed to be settled. White man just said we're going to do it anyway, and we did it. Yep. I'm living in some. This should be a bog where I'm at.
Here, let me just do UFC. Let me see here, because it is ongoing right now. So here's that which we just watched. Here's Trump coming down and shaking the hands. You got Don Jr. over here. Very nice. Okay. Eagles. So I guess it's kicking off right now, huh? No, it should have been
about an hour ago.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's the Democrats' version of let's celebrate. Yeah.
Let's have gay peoples because gay peoples equals America. Yeah, no, it does look painted on. That's true. These girls try to get down to low weight for their weighing in, but whatever.
Yeah.
I have no interest in female fighting at all. It's ridiculous.
Watching slower fighting. Yeah.
Well, I'm man. I have no interest in watching women in pain and suffering. My natural instinct is to jump in and help them, right? I have no interest in female fighting sports at all.
It is funny how many of the people Trump gets close to who are not suit and tie people. Have you noticed that? Yeah. They'll wear a jacket. They'll maybe throw a tie on if they have to, but by and large, that's not their deal. He's not that guy. He's not as much money as he has and everything. And I know people don't like to hear it. He's not an elite. He's got elite level influence and money, but he's not one of them because they would never be caught like that.
Right. We do call him the blue collar billionaire for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is cool. We don't have much clips coming from the actual fight. Okay, that's fine. All right, here's one. Now that brings me, it's fun looking at all this stuff, and the fun they're having and all that kind of, and it is a good time. However, I did want to kind of take a look at the fight card. Um,
Sure.
I have no clue about any of these people at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if it were boxing, I'd know. All right, but I don't know this at all. So maybe one of you guys know. Yeah. Okay.
I know
Uh,
of their names, but I've fallen off hard on
yeah.
UFC for the last few years. I
Now
just have. I don't really even know why. It's not. It lost my interest, I guess.
so the main event is little guys, lightweight. All right, but that does, this is more wrestling, so that isn't necessarily as bad. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see here. That's right. He just asked BB. That's perfect. We got a heavyweight bout here with Alex Pereira
Perea.
and
Yeah.
Cyril Gain. We got
I think it's
Justin
Gagne, but yeah, I think he's French.
whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Ilya Torpuri. Okay. Foreigners. Sean O'Malley.
That hair.
Perfect.
That freaking hair.
Where's the Patty the Batty? I know him. We have Ayman Zahabi. All right. Foreigner. All right. Michael Chandler. Sounds very British. We have Mauricio Ruffy. Are you Ruffy, Mauricio? And another a lot of lightweights, huh? Bantamweights, middleweights here. Bob Nickel and Kyle Daukus. Oh, God. He has a mullet, and his name is
Is the White
Diego
House
Lopez.
UFC card real? The frequently asked question, the very first one. That's funny.
What is it?
That
Is the
right
White
down there is
House,
the White House
real?
card
All
real.
right. Yeah. Who is fighting at the UFC White House event? Are Conor McGregor and John Jones on the White House card? Isn't Conor
They are
retired?
not. Well, yes, but he always is teasing like he's going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. He did plenty, and he's an actor now.
Well, he's in movies. I don't know if I want to call him an actor.
He was the only good part of that movie. Otherwise, that movie sucked.
Yeah, but only because he was just being ridiculous the whole time.
No, it was great though. He was having a good old time.
Walking around naked.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they didn't just let him have a full-on dick out moment. I mean, that would have been funny. I laughed my ass off. But he's the only good part of that movie because I mean, we talk about bad directing and bad writing these days. That movie, the remake of Roadhouse, we knew it was going to be shit. We knew, okay, but that movie literally takes your protagonist and gives him zero story arc. Nothing.
Yeah.
There's no story arc for him at all. No likability, no story arc. And the lady who he's supposed to be helping, she's a nasty piece of work as well. I don't feel any sympathy for her business being busted up. Now the workers, there's a bit of sympathy for them. But that lady, that black lady that he's helping out, she's corrupt, she's criminal. I don't care about her.
Well, they have a hard time in a lot of Hollywood nowadays writing a male lead, especially a white male lead, to be sympathetic. They don't like to, it's very obvious they don't like to do it. But in a movie like that, he has to be. I'm supposed to cheer for this guy. He's the good guy. I should want him to win. So I have to be able to have sympathy for him.
Sure. And the idea that Dalton had come off a fight where he killed some guy, and he's got a lot of emotion about that, which you would, right?
Sure.
And he's trying to find himself. And during the course of this, he doesn't really want to do it, but needs the money. And he's reluctant to really do what needs to be done. But during it, he finds himself again and he becomes the hero that he should be. They set it up perfect. It's perfect. You could have easily played that out. And you could have had your little beats giving a wink wink to the original movie too. but they didn't even bother. So I'm like, what the hell did you set it up for then?
Yeah, just abandoned it.
But they even kind of screwed down into it being a bad thing, meaning he is a broken bastard. He's just a bastard, right?
Right.
I mean, the only heroic person in the whole damn movie is freaking Conor McGregor. That's not right, dude. 'Cause he's the
He's
bad
great.
guy.
Walks out of that hospital,
He
his ass
does.
out. He didn't give a
Didn't
shit.
give a shit. Get him, Connor. And of course, he's becoming because he's one of those fighters he's successful, but he's mouthy. He's a clown. It's his character. It's what he does, right? A lot
Yeah,
of
he's Ric Flair.
he's Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But he's actually becoming a real life hero because he's standing up for Ireland, and he is out there using his
Woo,
fame
speaking
and
of
his power
Ireland.
to speak on it and to try to help them. And yes, speaking of Ireland, they
How
have
about them
kicked off,
Irish?
and I hope they continue kicking off.
They can't
Because
stop. If any of them
can't.
hear this, if you stop, you're dead. They're not
Yeah.
going to let you go back to living a normal. You might as well be dead. Your life is already over. So you better not stop till you win, because there is no lose. There is no defeat here. It's victory or death.
It is. It is.
And I'm not saying I necessarily support violence one way or the other. I'm just telling you the reality of it. The reality of it is what you've done now. You have to keep going till it's over. You have to. There's no going back.
Can I support violence?
I didn't say I did it. I'm just saying the reality on the ground is if you stop, you let off the gas, they're going to come for you. This is what happened in January 6th in America, right? These guys, they wanted to storm the Capitol building. Okay? And then what? We don't know. We're just going to go home. No, you weren't. That was never the option. That was stupid. I support the removal of corrupt politicians in the American apparatus. I support it in the Irish apparatus. But you have to never stop until you succeed. You have to. You can't just half measure this. And I hope the Irish understand that. The reason why the French protests didn't really work. Remember they had these big protests for years.
Yeah, yellow.
Went nowhere. The yellow vests, because they didn't push. They gave up. Yeah. You can't stop. You cannot stop. You have to be tireless. They can't beat you if you have you only need about 5-10% of the people on your side to be tireless, and you are unstoppable. Yeah. They cannot stop you.
And the British government already gave their response. You're the problem, not this weird Sudanese guy cutting people's heads off. He's not the problem. You are for complaining.
That's
about
right.
It. They're actually
so the only solution,
Elon Musk for allowing it to be played on Twitter.
Which is why he should just fund them. Screw it. Throw him some money. Why not? Yeah. The only solution is then, when they've decided you're the existential threat, to remove them existentially. That's it. Because there's no going back. There's no talking the British establishment out of their anti-racism bullshit. The only way to win now is to eliminate them. I'm not saying you got to kill them, but you have to eliminate them from the levers of power, which will probably mean you have to kill them. Because if you don't, they're going to do it to you.
Well,
that's what where you're at.
Thing is, if I ask the average person what would it take for you to revolt, revolution, most people are like, I don't want violence. I don't want to risk my life. I don't want dead people around me. Most people will be like, we don't understand war. Why would you do that? We don't understand, right? Well, this is why. When things get like this, where governments have no stopgaps whatsoever, they do whatever the hell they want. That's how revolution happens. And it takes time, the amount of pressure. Do you think World War I happened, just randomly started in the early 1910s? I mean,
right, just because one guy named Franz got shot? No.
That was built.
It was a build-up.
Decades.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People
same with the American Revolution. Took almost 100 years.
Everywhere. Yeah.
It took about 100 years, about 80 years for the U.S. to finally kick off into full revolution. And, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
And honestly,
it takes time.
It does take time. And to be honest with you, with the American Revolution, people were very frustrated for a long time But if it hadn't
Yep.
been that attack on Lexington, right?
Yes.
Because I think I think I said that correctly. You had all
Yes.
those people just forming. They were a local militia. They were just coming together.
Lexington and Concord.
Yeah. There might be some trouble. So these are just town folk. They're not soldiers, right? They're just the local militia as you're supposed to have. And they were
Yes.
just out there drilling, saying, "Well, we might have trouble, so we better get ready." The British, military just come marching up the road, sees them, and instead of talking or negotiating, they just started shooting them. Right?
Yep.
If that event didn't take place, that war would have never kicked off.
Nope.
So
it would have just been a lot of what we would call terrorist activity today from the Sons of Liberty.
There would have been that.
Yeah.
But you had decades of frustration, and that one event kicked it off, and that was the last straw. And then the British got really strong-handed because they figured, just slap them around a bit, kill a few of them, and they'll shut up.
They didn't understand. They weren't dealing with British people anymore. They were dealing with Americans.
Yeah.
And the Americans are different. We're built different.
But it takes a long time for people to get to that point because you ask yourself, are you willing to pick up a gun and go to war right now? Most people are like, what the fuck would I do that for? Why? I don't want war. I don't want
Depends who I'm shooting.
Death. I mean, I'm just saying, most people don't. We can't even fathom the idea of it because you have to get to the point where it becomes inevitable. And the thing with Britain, it's there, and they need to just go. They just need to have a full-on revolution. Just go, dude.
And the only person in that whole place who can stop it, who could actually do something to save that place, is their king, and he's a retard. So they are going to have to do it themselves.
To be fair,
or maybe the crown prince, if he were to actually come out in support of them, that could do some things. But until then,
he did pass off pretty much all of his authority onto William here a couple weeks ago. So technically, William is the one who would act, and I'm not sure. William,
crown prince, yeah,
William. I'm not really sure. I mean, he's not as wishy-washy and liberal as his dad, but I'm not really sure if he has what it takes to do that. I don't know. We'll see. The smartest thing he could do would be to back the people, though.
100%. That's always the right move for a monarch. Back the people.
If he came out and backed the people against this bullshit, he would be beloved instantly. And
he could do. And if he's a decent statesman, which we just don't know yet, right? He's untested.
Yeah.
If he is a decent statesman, he could back the people and at the same time keep the legitimacy of the government by removing, because he has the authority to do this as king, once he's king anyway, by removing the current government entirely.
Yeah.
Dissolve parliament. Suspend or just straight up remove the prime minister. He can do that and say, try again. Pick new guys. Pick new people, basically. Or just give power to the House of Lords temporarily until a new parliament can be built.
Sure. Well, the
House of Commons.
Did that. His mom did that. I mean, his grandmother.
She did it twice.
She did it twice.
She did it twice.
So it's certainly within their power.
That, I think, would calm people down a lot right now, would lower the temperature, but the reality is the apparatus, the establishment that built it, the bureaucracy that supports it has to be destroyed. And the British, mostly the British young men are the ones who are out there doing this, and the Irish. If you don't, and I think they do understand that, if you don't destroy that, all you're doing now is just signing your own death warrants. Right. That's what you're doing.
I would guess, though, that the current government would turn around and, just like they did against Charles I, would arm their supporters, which means Muslims, right? They would turn around and arm them and create civil war. That's what's exact thing happened with Charles I.
And the good news is they would lose because Muslims can't fucking fight. They're terrible at war. They've always been terrible at war. The Europeans, pretty much as soon as they decided they were done with their bullshit, slapped the shit out of them every conflict they've ever had. It was really just the apathy and the complacency of the Europeans that allowed them to ever do anything. Or they were hiring Europeans to do it. But when it comes to themselves, they've always... I mean, the Polish kicked their ass. What are we talking about?
True.
The Polish.
But then again, the Polish kicked a lot of people's asses.
I know.
Let's
I
be
just like to
fair.
give the Polish shit.
The Poles and the
It's the Austrian in me. I can't help it. All right.
It's fair. But the Poles and the Hungarians kicked a lot of ass, actually.
They did. No, they were good. The Hussars, especially, were bad motherfuckers.
Boys, yeah, they kept those Muslims out, baby. But here's the thing. I know that this Starmer government would do that. So the question is, who arms the actual British people? Who does
The
that?
problem the government has is it's so illegitimate, it's so hated, right? That it's gonna be an uphill battle for them. See, when they did it to the other king that you mentioned, I can't remember his name now. When they did it then, they had much more support from the general public because of what the king was up to. This time, yes, I don't think that would happen. I think it's so divided over there. The United Kingdom is so divided, funnily enough, that I think even though, they're gonna rile the Muslims up,
Sure,
and the Muslims will do what they do, but I don't think it'll go very far.
But if they gave thousands of weapons to Muslims, you don't think they'd use them?
Oh, of course they'll use them, but all that's going to do is rally. We gotta remember who we're dealing with here. I know they've been coddled and a little neutered for a while, but this is still the Brits. These are dangerous people when you push them. They always have been. The Romans found out the hard way. Even the Vikings found out eventually. Well, they assimilated largely, but still. These are not people to be fucked with, and the only reason that they've been getting away with it for so long is because they were so comfortable. They were wealthy enough, they were comfortable enough, they were nice and isolated and insulated from most of the bullshit they had done over the centuries, largely because Big Daddy America was there to protect them. But we're a different America now. We're not as interested in protecting them anymore, because why would we be?
No.
So they're going to have to stand up.
Makes a good point. He could do that in Canada as well. A lot of people seem to forget that Canada is still under the crown.
That's right.
But I don't know what's going to happen in Canada, Sheik, because Trump's basically said, and it's done. Where he just said, "Don't even talk to him."
Here's how you do it, Chester. You want me to game it for you real quick? Very simple. Whoever the monarch is, or the person in charge of the crown, whether that's the current king or his son, they go to Trump. And they say, "Listen, I'm going to put my support behind what the people are up to, behind the British people. I need your backing because he's the emperor of the world. Let's call him what he is, right?"
Trump,
if he says you got it, instantly.
Yeah.
But first of all, he's Scottish. He loves Scotland. Instantly, he's going to do that, and that's it. It's over. The Muslims can get riled up. They're going to do what they do. It's going to be maybe a year or so of violence from them, but they're going to get rounded up with the help of the U.S. military, and they're going to get out. They're going to get the fuck out of Britain. That's what will happen. But it takes the monarch, the sovereign, to make that move, to make that call. Yeah. I promise you Trump sends the military immediately. It won't even be a question.
We would drop 100,000 policing force over there instantly.
Instantaneously. Wouldn't even be a question. Because that's our papa. We got to take care of our papa. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Papa called. All right, we got you.
I'd like to see it because there's a big shakeup going on inside the Windsor House right now. Like I said, Charles is basically abdicated. It isn't 100% official, but he basically has. William's got a lot of power, but the first thing that William has done with that power is he's cleaning house. And fair enough. I understand why he's cleaning house. But that's his first action. So he hasn't turned to face the British public yet. He's still cleaning house because Camilla and her family have been over there playing dirty pool, trying to take as much as they can get. Kind of like Carmelo Anthony's parents. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Real high class, high quality individuals we got over there. No, I support the Brits. I'll always support the Brits. I don't support the British government, of course, because they can all rot and die. But the British people are some of the greatest people to ever live in the history of humanity. They've done great things. Especially the Anglo. It's a shame that they've allowed themselves, really their ancestors, because most of these young men are like me. They were mollified. They were neutered quite heavily because of the World War and everything that came after it. And it's a shame what happened to. I mean, think about it. Under 100 years ago, Britain ruled the world. They were the hegemon. They were the king. They were the top. They were America. They were the top dog, and that's all gone. All of it. That's gone.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, and they did it to themselves, and they
Yep.
praised it along the way because they're mollified. You're correct, but there is something has to be done, and we're just going to lose it because it's out of
That
control.
ancestors are screaming in their veins, and they don't understand why they're angry all the time. It's because your ancestors are furious. That's why you're angry all the time. Do something, British men. Stand up.
That's right. And then you could say the same thing for many countries in Europe. The Italians are starting to bristle. You're seeing some of that. Speaking of Britain again, though, even the Speaker of their House stood up and gave a little speech, which they don't usually do that position.
Right. He's pretty quiet.
He just kind of sits there more as a monument than anything. But he's bristling under this bullshit as well. I was kind of surprised to hear him because he was threatening them, basically. Right?
Good.
It is good. But you have a lot of problems. The Italians are starting to kind of push back against it. Of course, the East Europeans are like, yeah, you're a bunch of idiots. What are you doing anyway?
Right. Why'd you do this to begin with? Morons. We told you.
We told you. The Germans are in such a bad shape that they are being pulled off of UN and EU boards. That's how bad it is for the Germans. All their power is going away very quickly. And of course, they've completely betrayed their people.
And all it took, Chester, was one orange man to not get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Because if that doesn't happen, we're in a different world right now. If he doesn't survive that assassin's bullet, whole different world right now. And that one moment, I'm telling you, in 100 years, it's going to be looked back on like. I'm trying to think of a good analogy of an event, maybe even like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. That moment is going to be so critical in history that Trump didn't die in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 17th, 2023 or 2024. They did not die that day.
Yeah.
It's going to be remembered forever because of the consequences of Trump's presidency all over the world. Good or bad. We don't know if it's all going to be good yet. There's no way for us to. But so far, it's leaning the direction I want it to lean, where these bureaucratic pieces of shit get got all over the world, and they've done it to themselves by hating the only people who've ever brought civilization to anywhere, except East Asia. They've had it for a long time, too. But other than that, even there, though, they brought a lot of good shit there, too.
Sure.
These people and their self-hatred and their ethnic hatred, because a lot of them are Jewish, let's just be honest about it, and they don't consider themselves white, even though they blend into white culture. These people with their bitter hatred towards these other people who, by and large, none of us did it. We didn't have colonies. We didn't do any of that shit. We didn't kick the Jews out of nothing. None of us did any of that. That hasn't been done anywhere of consequence in decades. A century, however long it's been. These people are going to continue to, because of their blood vendetta, their blood feud, they're going to continue and continue and continue. And what's happening, it's happening all over. This is why, you asked the question before, where's all this anti-Semitism coming from? It's coming from that. It's a reaction to all of these Jewish organizations that directly attack white heritage, European heritage. The only people who've ever given them anything but death, and they attack us. I don't understand it, but what it is. That's where it's coming from. There's so many Jewish organizations, and if you look deep enough, most of these organizations that run this stuff, besides the Chinese ones, are funded directly by Jewish organizations or Jewish companies, or companies ran and managed by Jewish people. That's where that's coming from. Now, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to point at all of them and be like, oh, they're the bad guys. No, the bad guys are the same bad guys it's always been. Whether they're Jewish or not, it's the banksters. It's always been the bankers, all the way since 3,000 years ago when we were talking about all wars are banker wars. It's always been the bankers. But everybody wants to point at an ethnic group as if it's that because it's easier, right? You can identify that. Bankers are it could be anybody, it could be a banker. But it's always been the banksters. It's always been the one who control the money. It will always be that. There's a reason why Christ said the love of money is the root of all evil, because he was talking about those people specifically without talking about them. He did that a lot. But my point is, that's where that's coming from. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And until the ethnic people of Britain, of all of the Isles, whether it's the Irish or the British, apparently being there for almost, being there longer than pretty much anybody else has been anywhere, you don't get to be the indigenous people. I don't know what it takes. I don't know what the criteria is anymore, but the Brits have been there the Britons have been there a very long time. That's their land. That's their island. But I do think we're seeing a turning of the age. Trump is the catalyst. You could say other things were, but I'd say he's the main one. And I don't think it's going back. That's the thing that I need any liberal, whoever hears this, to understand. You think once Trump's dead or once he's gone, things will just go back. No, that's over. Your worldview has lost.
He's changed the world. That's true.
Your worldview has lost.
And you talk about the Jewish expulsion from countries. The last one was 1972. Although it was very
small. It's been a while.
The probably last big one that happened was 1956 with the Suez crisis in Egypt.
So that's almost 100 years ago, right? That's 70 years ago.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Been a long time. None of us did it. That's for sure.
No.
I assure you, my grandfather didn't do it. I'm sure your grandfather didn't do it. But these people will hate, white people all the same, and it's disgusting. And it needs to be stopped, and it looks like it's going to be stopped because, thankfully, the white man has finally remembered, hey, we don't have to pretend like we suck. We're pretty great. Let's just be great. All right. And that's it. Then you get Elon Musk's. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. But nevertheless, USC is happening right now, and they're having a good old time, and screw anybody who can't enjoy themselves. Let's go ahead and move on, though. We have this.
We have this. DC reset under Paramount. Gunn Reeves futures in doubt. Now, I would be very surprised if Matt Reeves is given his papers. He might be, but there's no reason for him to be. Everything he's touched has been gold. Everything.
Right.
So I don't see any reason why you would give him his papers. If anything, they should give him the reins, in my opinion. The man has proven himself twice now. He put out a great Batman movie, my estimation, the best Batman movie ever, and arguably the best show I've ever seen, period, of anything. Yeah.
Now, this article is really just talking about what we've been talking about for months, right?
Yeah.
Guns out. Everything's very thin. His Supergirl will see theaters, even though they're doing last-minute changes to that. And actually putting more of corn sweat in it, which is weird, right?
That is weird, yeah.
But the pushback on that movie is not good. And he is technically filming some more of Superman 2, but I don't think it'll see the screen because we do know Paramount's taking over. Now, Reeves and people around him, they are shooting the second Batman movie as we speak. They've been very clear about it. But they've also come out and said there will be no Penguin season 2. None. Right? However, they are talking about, I don't think I put it up here. I don't think I put it up here. But they are talking about maybe doing a Poison Ivy, right? In the same vein, Matt Reeves style, right? Which I don't know why. That wouldn't be the choice because she's a bad guy. But nevertheless, it's in pure chaos, as you would expect. Because there's a new boss coming in, a new owner.
New sheriff in town.
Right? Now, you and I both know, because of the people involved in the Paramount Skydance purchase, the very first thing that's going to get all their focus is CNN. Right?
Yep.
They've actually been making jokes of the new CNN's boss is going to be Trump. Right? And honestly, after he retires, after this 4-year term, I would think it would be hilarious if he were the boss of CNN. Actually, I'd laugh my ass off. However,
Listen, God is a comedian. He might give us
He
this.
is. But um, you know, that's going to be the initial focus because that was one of the big purposes of it. CBS is already seeing a lot of change, and they're bitching about it because people are getting fired, people are being moved out. They're moving back
Yep.
to a more middle of the ground news as they should be. So we're already seeing what's going to happen to CNN with CBS. And of
Right.
course, the wokies are very upset about it and they're screaming to the absolute ceilings. Now, I am going to have to ask a question of Grimlock. Grimlock,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, most.
hello. Now, we all know that Don Lemonhead is a lemonhead. And we know he's always been a racist. But have you seen him lately? Oh, boy. He just dropped the mask,
Evident.
dude. He's just full on racist now.
He's always been that. I don't know why anybody's actually surprised.
Yeah, but he's been
Like,
real. He's been all about this Carmelo Anthony thing, and he's just full on racist, dude. Um, but that whole thing is just an absolute shit show going on with that. But
yeah, I was
uh,
about to say you don't want me started.
yeah, yeah. Well, I figure he's one of your people.
No, he's not.
Are you sure?
He's not one of my people. No,
Because he's a pretty high yellow.
no.
Okay.
First of all, fuck that faggot and not what he stands for. There would nothing make me happier to find out that he died of a fentanyl overdose with his hands down a male prostitute's pants in the back of a dark alley.
Okay.
Yes, very specific. That I want him to die a very specific
Yeah.
way.
Very specifically is how I'd like this man to die.
Okay.
Um,
Sinister.
no, yes, I. People think Trump is evil. You better be glad I have no political aspirations.
Yeah.
I'd have had Don Lemon swinging from a tree years ago, and I
Well,
ain't talking
that
about
would
from
be
his
the
hand.
German part of you, sir.
Nah, because the German part of me would just cook him
Oh, that's fair. That is fair. That is fair.
and then eat
But
him.
oh well, okay. Let's not get into cannibalism. Nevertheless, of course, this article is
Hey, they're into
pointing out.
recycling. I'm telling them we can be serious about it if they really want to.
Well, to be fair, there's that trend on the internet with the black people saying white people used to eat us just back in the 70s. I'm like, huh?
Ew, why would we?
Well, we don't really have
Because they
many.
seasoned and shit, and white people don't season their food.
Well, the thing is, we don't have many cultural examples of cannibalism amongst the white peoples. Let me correct that. Zero examples of cannibalism
Yeah,
amongst the white peoples.
that's right.
Yeah, good, good luck with that. But this penguin thing, this article is pointing out it's the most successful thing that anyone has done in years. And it's one of the highest rated things, even on Rotten Tomatoes, which of course is true.
Yeah,
But why are they just abandoning it? And of course, a lot of that has to do with what's coming in. Now, I agree with Thundero. I think Reeves should be allowed to keep doing what he's doing and let Schneider do whatever you want him to do, right?
yeah,
But let him do his thing. But we'll see. Now, of course, we do know that he has been talking about doing some other projects, but it's not DC related, right? And of course, they're talking about him attached to direct and the executive producer of Apple's, which no one watches, Bonfire of the Vanities, which why, why? That thing bombed horribly for a reason. Knock it off. And of course, they keep talking about things that they could do. I don't know if they mentioned the poison ivy thing here, but what they do get into is talking about Gunn is basically shriveling up underneath all of it. And fair enough, we want him gone. Everybody wants him gone, right? Now,
right.
Saffron, he might survive this actually because he's just an executive. He might actually survive this because he's
They
not going
probably
to.
will.
Yeah, he probably will. Gunn is not going to survive this. Does Matt Reeves survive it? I don't know.
I hope
But
so.
yeah, I like what he's doing. But what we're definitely getting is more of this fucker. unfortunately. But the thing is, he's got a movement behind him, though, a legitimate one. He does.
Yeah.
I don't like what he does, but he does have a movement behind him, and that's what they're betting on. And to be fair, his I don't like what he does as a director, but it's not woke. It's not that, right?
Right.
So, that's not why I don't like it. So this article goes into a lot of little details about speculation, really. What is Ellison going to do? And all of those other people involved. And of course, they don't know the answer, but they're just speculating about various things. However, it has been made very clear to us that Gunn is not being given any kind of green lights, and so his stuff is kind of going away, and we're definitely, most certainly not getting any more Penguin, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But they
Truly.
seem to be very emphatic about that point. No more Penguin. And it's unfortunate, but there it is. But to be fair, under this kind of chaos, I'm kind of surprised that everything hasn't been shut down, to be real, right? Because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
do have a brand new owners coming in, and it's not just DC stuff. There's a whole bunch of other stuff probably happening behind the scenes that we have no information about at all.
Right.
Because this is a major purchase. And a lot of people like to use the word merger. No. This is a takeover. It is not a merger, right?
100%. Yeah.
So I can't imagine that the Ellisons and the various other parties involved, when they come in, they don't just simply clean house. Because honestly, that's what they should do. Just clean house, right? And if you want to give Matt Reeves a little bit of love, then go ahead. But I would understand if they didn't, unfortunately. But one thing you're definitely getting is more Schneider, and what you're not going to get is more corn
Ugh.
sweat. So
So good and bad. Gotcha.
good and bad.
Listen, I don't dislike Corn Sweat. I'm sure he's a perfectly fine guy. Seems like he's a good dude, but he's not. He was a bad casting choice. He's just not a handsome man. He's just
No, and
not.
he doesn't have the
And
presence necessary for it.
Superman needs to be handsome. That's kind of a big. He's supposed to be perfect. He's a perfect man. Uh, you kind of can't get away from it. So
Yeah,
one of
he's
the
the
one of the
Ubermensch.
problems. Yeah, one of the problems with Routh back in the day, 20 years ago now, is he wasn't very handsome either. He's not ugly. I don't think Corn Sweat's ugly. I was being hyperbolic, but they're just not. They need to be almost otherworldly handsome, right, for it to work because he's Superman, and these guys aren't, and it's a big deterrent. It's a big detraction when you're trying to get into him. Plus, Corn Sweat's not that good of an actor. Let's just call it what
No.
it is.
Well, and I think a lot of them kind of made mistakes when it came with comparing and looking at Christopher Reeves. I don't think they
Yeah,
really saw what he was. Now, there's been
no,
many accusations that he's a gay man. I don't know that that's true. He actually has kids. He did play a
yeah, he
gay
had a
guy
whole
in a
family.
movie. I mean, but that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean he's gay. But maybe he had, maybe when he was younger, he's a bit bisexual, like Freddie Mercury. Who knows? Don't really care.
Who knows?
But and they kind of leaned on that, especially with Roth, because he's very
Yeah.
effeminate, right? But what
Yes.
they didn't pay attention was just go look at the man's work. What is he doing as Superman? Because there's nothing effeminate at all about it. That
No.
guy has
No.
got presence for freaking days,
Yeah.
right?
Fills a room, just
He
walks in.
does
It's his now.
with manliness. And
Yes.
they didn't get it. And it's unfortunate that they didn't study that, because one thing about Henry, we know Henry didn't get the greatest opportunity in things, but it's quite clear to me that Henry actually went and watched those movies,
100%.
because there are many points that he tried to emulate Christopher Reeves, and he did it pretty well, right?
Yes.
Because there are many great moments with Christopher as Superman. The greatest one is where he's about to tell Lois that he's Kal-El, that he is Superman, right?
Right.
And something happens that he doesn't. But that whole moment where he takes the glasses off and he transforms into Superman from Clark right in front of you is one of the best moments of any character I've seen in any movie.
It's
He
brilliant.
It is brilliant, because everyone always jokes about, oh, it's just a pair of glasses and a hair curl. Chris Reeve shows you it can be more. At that, if you don't know what
Yes.
I'm talking about, go watch that scene. It's in the Niagara Falls Love Hotel, is where it is.
Yep.
But holy shit, dude. The presence of that man, the transformation from bumbling Clark, which I know you don't like, but whatever, the bumbling Clark into
No, I like
Kal-El.
bumbling Clark. I don't like what they've done to him since, where he's not bumbling. He's just a guy, right? He's just kind of a normal nerd. He's supposed to be very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Opposite of presence, right? There's a word for it. He's supposed to be that.
Into the background, yeah.
Yes. Very milquetoast, cowardly in a lot of ways, which I think Christopher Reeves did perfectly, right? He was always running away. Even Lois was like, "Oh, come on!" At one point, "Where are you? Why are you never around?" Which is, that's always kind of the tongue-in-cheek humor of it, because she doesn't put that together. Wait, why is he never around with? But my point is he's supposed to be that. He's not supposed to just be the type of guy like when they have him have kids, he'll just become a dad, and I'm like, no. Yeah, he can be a dad to his kids, but to everybody else, he has to keep up the appearance of being a kind of a bumbling idiot. Not an idiot, but you know what I mean. And they don't do that anymore, and that's why I don't like domesticating him. I hate that, because you take something away from the character when you do that.
Yeah, but I mean, another way you could do that is if you go to transition Superman, then transition him, right?
Yes.
Get rid of the Clark persona altogether and just make him Kal-El.
Yep. He's just Kal-El, and these are his kids. Done.
Yeah,
easy.
Done. Right.
Yep.
And his wife is a little lady called Diana Prince.
Yes. It doesn't have to be. It could be another Amazon if he wants. It's super. Maybe he's got different tastes.
ain't no woman handling that shit, dude. I'm telling you.
I don't know if Wonder Woman could, to be honest with you.
Yeah, she can take it. She got the thighs for it. Anyway, now speaking of Zack Snyder, let's see
that
what
wonder thighs.
She does. Let's see what Zack's up to, because he's up to more than
boy.
pouring.
Oh boy. Zack Snyder teases A24 connection as studio rides back rooms to record-breaking heights. And you know what? Hang on, Mr. Snyder, because you're a has-been. Good on Kane Parsons, man. Give that kid money. Let him make some damn movies.
And they will.
Yeah.
Because they're making boku.
He's rich. He's set for life off his one film. He's good.
Is loving it. To be fair, A24 has put out a lot of good little films. They're an indie studio, but
they're who we need. We need more of them. We need more of these small time who can put out cheap movies that are of quality. They can do it. They don't always, but they can do it.
Now, Zack actually is pretty close with the executives over there. Of course, he is making his movie, The Last Photograph, with them. So he's already attached. But one thing we've noticed about Zack, he's really good at self-promotion. Or good or bad, I guess you take it as you'd like. But he gets himself up in there. But this whole debacle that was happening with the fight over Warner Brothers, right? And ultimately, Skydance winning. He was in there promoting on both sides, right, for a while. And then he's
got hustle.
He does. He saw the writing on the wall, and he put all his eggs in one basket, the Paramount one. And it was the right choice. And this guy has been just promoting and hustling on that for a while. So you shouldn't be surprised that he's jumping and saying, "Hey, I'm friends with A24 too. Look at me. I do stuff with them. I know them. I'm good too. Come watch my movie." That's what he's doing. This guy is really, really good and annoying at self-promotion.
One of the things I actually think, if you got to rein him in, obviously, because he likes to go real big budget. But Zack, for all of his faults as a director and as a story guy, he's real bad at both of those. He's a phenomenal cinematographer. He's one of the best alive.
Yeah.
You give him a good team around him and give him some reins, actual reins, rein him in, you could get something great out of him. We know you can. He's made good stuff. But it's been a long time since he's done that. So you got to really rein him in. A24 could be a place where he can maybe get something decent out of him, because it doesn't have to be as grandiose in scale.
Yeah. They're going to have to rein him in, though. Because keep in mind, the last big thing he did was the Rebel Moon 1 and 2, and that was shit. And it was woke shit at that, right?
Yep.
And so he is a Wookiee, but we know they all are. Matt Reeves is too. But Matt Reeves
Yep.
and Schneider, they do have the ability to rein that in and do what it is they're supposed to be doing. They are professionals. They do have that ability. But you need someone to rein them in, just like with George Lucas. You need someone over the
Yes.
shoulder. And if you do that, you could get something good. You could.
Yep.
And that's all this article really is talking about is Zack Schneider trying to shoulder up and say, "Hey, I'm with this group too, guys. Hey, look at me, guys. Hey, guys." That's all this is.
Yep.
So and it looks like he's going to be doing something else with them as well. So fine. And like I said, who knows? This could be a fun little movie. But of course, the thing they do come out here and talk about is some of the stuff he is working on next. This is Zack Schneider. He's beyond the last photograph, which is going to be coming out soon. He's also the director and the writer behind the John Carpenter's Escape from New York reimagining. Fuck right off.
Oh boy.
Fuck right off for Studio
Who
Canal.
you gonna get to play him?
I don't know. I don't even know why you would bother to do that. It's such a niche little thing. Just leave it be. Just leave it
Yeah.
be. Right? And
It's
reimagining,
not
what the
even
hell's that mean?
it's not even that good to begin with.
No,
it's fun, but it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
It's got a couple of good sequences. It's got some great matte paintings in it, though. It does have that.
Yeah.
And it's just Kurt Russell being Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
To
it's
be
just
fair.
fun. It's a fun movie. That's all it's supposed to
Right.
be.
So
Don't take it seriously.
yeah, and I don't know what the hell they're thinking about with that. But that's Studio Canal. That's not A24. And he's also working on a movie called Brawlers, which is a UFC movie. Okay, fine. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, they're also talking about some stuff with him doing possibly with Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck for more Justice League stuff when the Paramount deal is complete and they come in. Now, first of all, no Kevin Smith. We're done with Kevin
Yeah.
Smith. Kevin, go over there and
Yeah.
cry in the corner and stay away, please.
We've had enough.
Go away.
We've had enough.
Now, Ben, I think we're stuck with Ben. I think we're
I
stuck with him.
don't dislike Ben. I don't like him as Batman, but he's a good director. He's actually a decent director.
What is he?
Give him something to actually sink his teeth. Off the top of my head, of course, I can't remember. But give him something to sink his teeth into. You might get something decent. But I don't think he's a good Batman. I've never thought that. I've been very clear on this for years. He's not Batman. He doesn't fit Batman.
No,
Ben Affleck
does. The physical stuff was fine, right?
Well, yeah.
It's his brooding. It's the incorrect type of brooding, right?
Yeah, it comes off more like whining than brooding, than proper brooding.
It's not good. And of course, another issue is with same thing I just had with Idris Elba in Masters of the Universe. He during the action scenes, he was great. It was really good. But when he starts talking, he's shit
He's
at
flat.
talking. He's just
he's just flat.
And of course, they made the mistake of making Men at Arms a drunk, just a sloppy drunk whose daughter has zero respect for him, and she's just giving him shit constantly. It's like it's not a good look, dude. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Right. Even there were several times, I don't know that the actor, whoever this kid is that played He-Man, I don't know if he was supposed to do that, but there are several moments, if you look at him as she's belittling and berating her father, he's almost like, relax, girl. His look on his face, I don't even think he was supposed to be showing that. I think it was just the actor himself.
Didn't feel like he was acting. He's just like, oh damn,
shit,
chill out.
Damn, girl. Right? So
he's like, oh shit, I'm in the scene? Hang on, I didn't know I was on camera.
But honestly, the kid's fine. I mean, it should be more because he is the titular character. But I mean, he's fine though. I don't have any problem with the kid. The Skeletor owns that movie, so enough said.
Which honestly, for a lot of movies like that, is a good thing. A lot of these sorts of franchises,
Sure.
We always say something to the effect of a hero's only as good as his villain. So you need the villain to be able to carry it. It's kind of like in pro wrestling. The heel does most of the work.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's definitely true.
He has to.
Yeah. And of course, another good example of this is now I know not everyone agrees with this, but I've never been a big fan of Christopher Nolan. I don't
Me
like
neither.
his Batman shit at all. I don't think Christian. I
Well,
like Christian
I like
Bale.
his Batman,
I
but
don't
I
like.
don't like much of anything else
Yeah.
besides that.
I don't think Christian Bale is a good choice for Batman, and I like Christian
He's
Bale,
not.
right?
Yeah, he is.
But the only thing that's even memorable about out of all that shit was frickin' Heath Ledger as a Joker
Well, and Bane, but for the wrong reasons.
for the wrong reasons. Yeah,
Fucking voice.
ridiculous. But
He has the best lines maybe ever written for a comic book villain in that movie. His lines are great. That voice is ridiculous. It kills every one of them. Do you feel in charge? It's like, what are you doing?
Jared Leto did a little bit of that with the Skeletor, but it was in pure camp. And honestly, it's kind of what saves it because the writers don't understand camp. They don't get it.
Most people don't nowadays. They can't do irony.
But Leto gets it, and he just ate up his scenes, and he was doing the camp perfectly.
Right.
You gotta watch it just for the Skeletor dude, just for Skeletor.
So wait till the Skeletor edits come out and watch those.
Dude,
Got
you're
it.
gonna get absolutely inundated with them. They're hilarious. You know, he even has to correct his minions on when to cheer. When I put my hand up, this is when you cheer. This is the crescendo.
That's good. I like that.
It is.
I like that they didn't try to make him a serious, no. They leaned into it.
Now, let's continue this conversation with, it just made me laugh. Go ahead.
The Batman Part 2, Brian Tyree Henry, rumored as Two-Face. I like this guy a lot as an actor. I do. But no. Stop it.
185% no. This guy's
super entertaining as an actor. He is. But he's not Two-Face.
Now we have Stan here, who's we know is in the movie, and everybody thought he was playing Two-Face. He's not. He's playing Zsasz. Right? And it's not going to be what we think because the way Zsasz works, right? There's going to be a lot of characters show up, but it's actually Zsasz doing it and not the actual character. So he's going to be probably the big bad of the movie, him playing Zsasz. And we'll see. Can Stan pull that off? I don't know. That's a lot. I don't know that he's got the chops for that, dude. But we'll see. We'll see. If he does pull it off, it'll be the greatest acting of his entire career, right?
Yep.
But you're putting a lot on his shoulders to do what they're doing with him, right? And once again, you go read this article because it gets pretty in depth from Will Harrington about what they're doing, right? Now, therefore, Brian Tyree Henry, this guy, which if you watch the Eternals, which I didn't, he is playing Harvey Dent. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is not the guy to be doing that. And I'm not even on about the race swap. That's not even the point. You can be, but I'm saying that you can argue about that, but he does it. That's not the kind of character you give this guy. That's not the character he plays. He doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have that kind of presence. Harvey Dent is a big time powerful presence in the government, right? He is almost equivalent to Bruce Wayne in his presence and his gravitas, right? And this guy right here, where they had another picture of him. This guy here, this little chubby round faced Nigerian boy, he does not have that. He does not have that. Now, could you have someone like, say, a younger Denzel Washington do that? Hell yeah. Oh, sure. Denzel's got presence all day. But I'm saying this guy doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. So
he's a great. Here's what he is. He's a fantastic second or third in a movie.
Yeah, he's a character actor. Yeah,
He's in he's the guy. He's in Bullet Train. He's the one who plays the other twin, quote unquote.
and he was fun in that.
And,
He was
and he's
fun.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. And that's what he can have a crazy good career for 30, 40 years being that guy. He could do it. He's got the
probably
skill
will.
for it. He's got the range.
Yeah.
But trying to make him Two-Face is not going to
No,
work.
he
That's
doesn't
it's.
have that
I really hope
yeah.
this is wrong because you've shot yourself in the foot right out of the gate. You're not going to be able to pull this off with him. Simply because the character has a nuance that he's not gonna be able to bring out. Like you said, to do Harvey Dent right, he needs to be able to stand in a room with Bruce Wayne and not blink.
Yeah.
And not look like he's gonna. It has to be believable, right?
It does. And this guy ain't doing that. Now, Alan mentions Michael B. Jordan. Honestly, Michael does have the presence for it, but you got to get the blackety black out of him.
Right? Yeah, you'd have to class him up a bit.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why the Dark Knight, Nolan's Dark Knight movie, his Two-Face was so good, is because I can't remember that actor's name off the top of my head now. Did such a good job with it. Really, there was three great performances. No. There's three. I can't remember. There's three great performances in that movie. It's him, obviously Ledger at another. That's a different level, and then Michael Caine, as usual, is carrying the heart part of the movie. And because of that, that's why it's such a good movie. But his the hell is his name? Why will my brain not remember his name? I know his name. He's in great movies.
Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah, Aaron Eckhart.
He was in Altered Carbon, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. He might have been.
Yeah, he was great in that too. Yeah, he's a great actor. I like that guy.
But his ability to, when they first have introduced him in the courtroom scene and he just takes over, that's Harvey Dent. Harvey needs to come off as a hyper-competent, we were talking about Christopher Reeves with Aura. Harvey should have that. That's why when he breaks, it's so tragic, right?
That's
the point.
When he beat the fuck out of that dude, the interrogation was good too.
Yes.
But yeah, you need someone that has that kind of presence, and this guy is that kind of guy. He's been in a lot of fun things. He's a good choice for that. He has that kind of presence. Now, could you even get someone more epic to do it? Yep, you could. But
and watch him break.
Yeah, but having this guy isn't, and I'm not even being mean to him. It's just
you have to have somebody who has command. He has command.
Yeah,
he can walk you. He's believable in a position of command. The race swap thing aside, which is stupid and annoying. He's just not that guy. There's plenty of black guys who have it. He isn't one of them.
No, he's a goofy sidekick, is what he is, and he's good at that.
And he can be the heart of a story too. He's really good in Bullet Train as the heart.
True. And in this, it also mentions that we might be getting elements of the Court of Owls, or maybe even an introduction to it.
Boy!
Yeah, I know they're going to screw that up so badly. But mainly, what you're getting here is Zsasz, and to be fair,
which is also boy,
right? It is because, like Sebastian, if Sebastian can step up. And he can do that. Like I said, it'll be the best performance of his life. It'll redefine him. So I'm rooting for him, dude. I'm rooting for him because he's got a good director. There's a good team around him. But he's going to be something we've never seen from Sebastian.
He's climbing uphill in the rain is what he's doing. It's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. But if he can pull it off, because Zsasz is an absolute psychopath.
That's right. Pure psychopath.
He's pure. He's murderous. He enjoys it because it's fun. He's not misunderstood at all.
No, there's no pure motive behind his evil. No. He's just evil, and he likes it.
And he loves it.
He's okay with it.
Which is exactly what Skeletor tells you in the movie. He loves it, right?
I just love it. It makes me tingle in places.
Well, actually, it was funny. They had Skeletor make a couple of gay jokes that were actually funny.
I like that.
Right? About
because
he obviously finds Adam to be very attractive.
Yeah.
Right. All those muscles. But it was funny that he decided to kind of, he didn't go too much. It was just a couple little remarks, but he's clearly gained up Skeletor a little bit. But it
Yeah.
was done in the right funny way, right? But anyway, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this because at least now we know what they're doing because there've been a lot of rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we know what they're doing. Mainly, it's Batman versus Zaz. All right, and I like the lower level of it. We're going to get introduced
Yeah.
to Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
We're going to get introduced to the Court of Owls. We're going to get introductions on all of that. But it's mainly him
So
versus
what's
Zaz,
the fucking point of doing the Clayface movie if he's not going to be somewhere in this?
right? But it doesn't sound like there's any
It's a
of
good
that in
question.
there. It's separate issue. It's a separate issue. And of course, you'll have Penguin show up here or there, but he's not going to be a main dude. It's mainly
Right.
Zaz.
So this goes back to what me and Thunder was actually talking about earlier. The problem that was with Morbius and Venom. So you're going to do a fucking Clayface movie
Yeah.
within the Batman universe with
Which
no
looks
fucking Batman.
interesting. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it
No
still
But with
looks
no
Batman.
fucking
interesting.
Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but we're talking about a character that without Batman, do you give a shit?
No,
Right.
but if it's just a little popcorn, a creepy noir horror movie, I'm cool with that.
We'll see how it is, but
Yes, but that's fine. But we're talking. And they're talking about, oh, why isn't the DC universe, why is
popping.
it gaining traction? Why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? Maybe because you take the worst fucking elements of Marvel and go, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, well, they screwed
Yes.
that. We know that, dude. We've been watching DC fuck that up for over a decade, dude. Let's be fair. And
But
if you do,
this is one of the stupider things because this is what Sony's been doing. Sony has been, oh, let's take a character like Morbius who, with, and like I said, there's places you can stick Morbius, but Morbius has never been written to where, even when he had his solo run in the 90s, it was to tie into the Midnight Suns. So if you're
Right.
not doing the Midnight Suns, and you're not doing Spider Man, and you're not doing Blade or even Doctor Strange, what the fuck are you doing with him?
yeah, no, I
If
get
you're
what you're
gonna do
saying.
a Clayface movie, right, and you're gonna do another Batman movie in the apparently the same universe, and you're gonna bring in Victor's ass, and you're gonna bring in Two Face, but you're doing this whole Clayface movie, and it doesn't tie in somehow. Like
Well, we
the fuck?
don't know that. There might be some little hints at it. We don't really know. What this article really is kind of cleaning up is that it's the main thing seems to be Zaz is what we're getting, and because uh, I get what you're saying though. But the thing with the Morbius, they could have easily tied in Spider-Man. Spider-Man, there's some problem with, let's say you do have his friend, but instead of his friend, getting the formula and he goes crazy and somebody like he gets taken out or something like that and he goes on a rampage and Spider-Man is trying to deal with it. But in the end, he realizes he's not really a bad guy. You could have done that. You could have. Maybe they should have.
Could have. Would have been a better movie.
Maybe.
Uh,
Yeah.
but no, I agree with him. There's no point in making the Clayface thing a movie if you're not going to use it. See, the Penguin's going to get used. I have a feeling they're going to wrap up what they set up, even if it's a lesser role than they were intending. I have a feeling they're going to still wrap it up in this movie. Because you got a whole movie. You got more than enough time to deal with Penguin's ascendancy. Especially if, from what it sounds like, the movie is going to be Zaz is in the background doing Zaz shit, causing all kinds of other shit to happen, and Batman's trying to clean it up from the outside, not realizing who's doing it or what's doing it or whatever. And then obviously, Court of Owls, if they are going that way, which I really hope they don't, is somehow in the background as well. Maybe they're helping Zaz or funding him, or he's terrorizing them potentially. That actually could be interesting. Instead of Zaz being just in it for the love of the game entirely, he could just be trying to take out the Court of Owls. Right? They're the victim of it. For whatever reason, they fucked him over at some point. It could come up with a reason. That could be interesting, but we'll see what we get here, but I agree. I don't see why you're making a Clayface movie if you're not like that's what we all assumed. The Clayface movie was going to lead directly into Clayface versus Batman, or at least in some degree. So I don't understand what the point of making it is if you're not going to use him directly. It's actually kind of worse from what Sony was doing because Sony and Marvel are separate entities, right? They allow each other with the cross promotion, whatever you want to call it, to use these characters, but they're separate entities. So I understand why Sony was making those movies from a financial standpoint. They're trying to keep control of these properties. It doesn't make any sense for DC to just make a random villain movie that has no large tie-in into the big movie, the Batman movie. That's kind of stupid, and it's kind of what ended up why they're in the state that they're in. Just really dumb, short-sighted decisions. The Penguin show was very cheap to make comparatively, and it was brilliant. They could have done the same thing with Clayface. They should have, in fact, done the same thing with Clayface. And I think it would have been better. And then when you tie it in, it doesn't have to be as big of a situation. Because if you remember at the end of the Penguin thing, at no point is it even implied that he's going to be a big bad. It's just implied he's going to be a bad. He's going to be a force that is in, this version of Batman's Gotham. And which is all Penguin needs to be. Penguin, I don't think, works as a big bad of a movie, personally. I think he can work in a team, right, or as another problem that Batman has to deal with, but I don't know if he works as a character as a solo antagonist.
No, I think
At
he's
least,
better as
especially
a
not this
source of
version.
information or something like that.
Yeah, he's a side situation. He's a problem Batman deals with occasionally, but he's not the situation. Zaz
Yeah.
can be that.
Sure.
So we'll see.
But yeah, no, Penguin doesn't want to rule the world. He just wants his little piece of it. But
Yes.
Zaz is not a bad guy, especially if you're going dark and gritty, as clearly Matt Reeves is doing. Because Zaz, he is a masochist. He's a
Yep.
psychopath serial killer. But his motivation is that he thinks life sucks. He's a nihilist, and
Right.
when he kills people and he props their body in certain things, which you see in the trailer, now that you see it, you understand what you're dealing with Zaz, because a lot of people didn't, and me included, didn't notice it, but if you go back and watch, you'll see it. But
Right.
what he thinks, he actually thinks he's helping by killing you. You don't have to live with the pain of life anymore. That's
Yes.
Zaz, right?
He's a true psychopath.
Yeah, he's not. You ain't talking him out of it. You ain't convincing him. You either put him down and put him in prison, or you kill him. That's it,
Right.
right?
Right.
So having him as a main thing that Batman's trying to deal with, and because once again we're dealing with serial killer mystery, and Batman's going to have to solve it, just like the first one. And you have other
Right.
little beats happening around it, world building. That's what you're going to get, I think.
Well, even the first one, the way that they tied in the world building, which was really clever, is the Riddler was killing or had killed members of a situation that was tied directly into the crime families. That's why I said I think you could do something interesting where he's still doing Zaz things, but he seems to be targeting one group that's would be the Court of Owls effectively.
Maybe.
For whatever reason, you could come up maybe he just because he thinks it's funny. That's fine
Or
too.
he's been forced into that. Someone tricked him into it.
Right. Yeah, you could do that too. But I do agree. I think if you're going to make a whole Clayface movie, why isn't maybe Clayface will, but why doesn't Clayface have a large role, not just a cameo or a little side thing, but a large role in this movie? I think that is short-sighted, which is what got DC in the trouble they've been in to begin with short-sightedness.
True. But there is a couple people close to it said that the whole Court of Owls thing is just nonsense. It's not happening. But then again,
Okay.
this article does
Good.
show you very clearly that there's been a lot of rumors from different peoples, and none of them adding up. The only thing that really adds up is the Zaz angle, as they say here, and the fact that it looks like you have Sebastian Stan as playing Zaz, not Harvey Dent, and Brian Tyree Henry is Dent, which is stupid. Okay. And there's some mention of Scarlett Johansson being in it, and I'm like, why? For what reason? Why would we need
Well,
her in this movie at all?
Batman's love interest, obviously.
She's way too old. Is that his mama?
Listen, he's got an old lady fetish. All right, his mom. He didn't get to know his mom very well. She got killed when he was young. You know, he's replacing his. He's trying to get a new mommy, Chester.
And I don't have any trouble with them. But honestly, the Batman that they're showing us and the Bruce Wayne they're showing us is not the playboy. He's the
Well,
detective,
or at
and we're
least not
happy about it.
yet. Maybe this version of him, he'll grow into that role because he hadn't really figured out Batman yet. Like, he hadn't figured out the whole role he's supposed to play in the first one.
No, he
So
hasn't. That's true.
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. The best thing I have to say about all this is we are getting another Batman, and that's good.
Hopefully, it's great. That's all I want.
I hope so.
I want it to be great. I don't want this gentleman, who I really like him. I think he's a good actor, to be Two-Face, though. That's stupid. Stop it.
Yeah, it doesn't
Knock
fit
it off.
him. There are plenty of things you could do with him, but not that. I had mentioned this last week, and I just wanted to follow up on it.
Stargate's Joe Malazzi. What a name. Executives hold fans in contempt. Yep, well, we know this. Thanks, Joe. We're fully aware. We are completely aware of this, my friend.
Now, this thing is blowing up, and it's not going away, right?
Good.
And people are very upset. And this Joe Malazzi, I don't know who he is, but he's actually came out and said the quiet part out loud, right? And he says that their power to make or break a show. And he made a point saying that he wasn't that they can choose what they want, and they're very contemptuous of the fans, which we know. He's watched this repeat too many times across too many shows to be talking about any single one of them. Yes, yet despite the mounting evidence over the past few years, they continued to dismiss the data, repeating the same miscalculations time and time again. And he continues, where is it here? Throughout my career, I've been dismayed by the contempt some genre executives have held for fans, routinely underestimating their power to make or break a show. I've watched this repeat too many times. Oh, of course, repeating with that. But he also comes here and he talks about, it's a dealing with gaming as well. But he talks about the fact that the main thing that these executives are misunderstanding is they place too much stock in the algorithms, and they don't understand that the modern audience are not only very capable, they're very knowledgeable. They are quicker to data and quicker to understanding than these executives are. And he says these executives need to get this nonsense out of their head, because until they do, they're going to keep having failure. Because the fans are not a bunch of idiots that don't know nothing like you think they are. They are actually way more organized and far more information driven than you're giving them credit for. So, I don't know who the hell this guy is, but to be fair, he just came out and said, "Nah, you're being a bunch of idiots. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting everything because you think the fans are a bunch of morons that don't know nothing." When in truth, they're more in touch with the technology and the data than you are, right?
Yeah.
And good on him for that. And let me see if
Trenches.
I can figure out. Yeah, let me see if I can figure out.
I have this theory, Chester.
Here we go.
I have a theory. I've stated it before. I call it the McDonald's theory. McDonald's theory is very simple. Whatever way McDonald's is going, when it's marketing and it's campaigning and what it's doing, is the way the people on the ground level are moving. This is why McDonald's is a juggernaut that's never going away. They're always going to be the king. Even if they get supplanted here or there in some number, they're always going to be the king, right? Even though everybody knows that shit's terrible for you. Everybody knows it. They're still the king. The reason they're the king is because they listen to their customers. They listen to their audience. Yeah. They follow the trends. They don't run from them. They don't hide from them. They don't wish they were something other than what they are. So whichever way you see McDonald's going, whatever it is, is the wave of the future. They're heading towards where the current flows. That's how they stay number one, the king of the world in fast food for so long. They've been doing it for so long. It's nobody even questions it. Who's number one? McDonald's. It's not even a question, Chester. There's no alternative. There's no no. It's McDonald's, and then the one who makes the most money is Chick-fil-A. That's it. That's your answer.
Yeah.
And the reason being because both of them do the same thing. They listen to their customers. What does Chick-fil-A offer? It offers chicken. It's good chicken, not a bad time. But it also offers great customer service. That's what it gives you. McDonald's offers mostly okay customer service and decent enough food. And in fact, their burgers are actually really good. The truth of the matter is McDonald's burgers aren't bad for you at all. They're just burgers. They're just hamburgers. I get they put a bunch of preservatives in the buns and stuff, and I get all that, but by and large, they're not terrible for you. It's the fries that get you. Them damn McDonald's fries. But regardless, my point is, my McDonald's theory is, whichever way McDonald's is going, that's the way the market's moving. Follow McDonald's, you'll never go wrong. Because there's nothing, it's not because they have some magical power, it's because they're a ground level, one-to-one business. They have to be. That's the nature of their game. They're selling cheap burgers to poor people, basically, right? And, well, everybody, but you know what I mean. When McDonald's moves, the market moves. They're moving the way the market's going. So, where am I going with this? These executives could learn from McDonald's. Stop treating your customers like they're idiots. Stop it. Don't do that. What are you doing? Treat your customer like they're the people who come to you for a product because you're the one supplying it. That's all you got to treat them as. Very few fans besides the liberal wackadoos demand that these people cater to us exclusively all the time, always. It's very rare you're going to hear that coming from a fan of something, right? We'll bicker, we'll complain, we wish George Lucas did this, we'll do all that, but they still love it. They're still in. They're still invested, right? It's the weirdo wackadoo tourists who usually come in and want to make changes and demand everything cater to them. But that's neither here nor there. The problem these executives have is they've lost. The saying as old as it comes. They've lost touch, and it's because they're not using the McDonald's theory. They're not following the trends of the lowest common denominator, and because they're not doing that, they're failing epically. Yeah. A great example of a movie that isn't failing, that was built literally off an internet trend that's been going for about a decade now. We just talked about it, The Backrooms. Backrooms movie made by a young man at 20 years old. He's 20 years old. He made a movie that I just checked, 262 million worldwide. Right now.
Yep.
That's crazy money. 20 years old. All he did was he found an internet trend and he came up with a mythos for it that's complete, because it's nothing. Nobody owns it. It's just something cool people, started talking about. And made some really interesting content about it. And eventually got noticed, made something. But how did he do that? He found a trend and he wrote it. Yeah. He didn't fight it. Yeah. He didn't try to change it. He didn't try to explain it and recontextualize it and reimagine it. No. He just rode the wave. Well, that's what McDonald's does. If these people would do it, they would make so much more money. Sure. But they refuse because they're stubborn, old, crotchety bastards.
And that's what
who refuse to be dictated to.
Is saying. That's exactly what he's saying. And he gives a good example here, and we all know this is true. How many times, like with America's Got Talent or The Voice or any of that nonsense, that you see them bring some person that got some internet fame off a little 60-second video, right?
Right.
And he even mentioned some karate kid, 5-year-old kung fu kid that got 5 million views. That they will lock into that and say, "Oh, that was 3 years ago. They're gonna love it. We're gonna bring it back." And I remember seeing what was some little kid doing that stupid little floss dance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, "What the hell are you doing? How moronic are you? Fucking America's Got Talent." But what he's saying is that's not who your fans are. These are not the people that watch those little shorts on YouTube and TikTok are not your fans. They are not the people that are behind that. These people watch much longer, much different things, and they don't even try to get the data on those people, even though they're the ones you should be catering to. He points this out very clearly here with his examples. They
Yes.
place way too much stock in their algorithms and they don't understand genre, much less fandom. This
Yep.
Malozzi guy, who's just a writer for Stargate and Dark Matter, well, he created Dark Matter. This guy, he is banging, dude. This is
That's
exactly
right.
true. 100%
They don't want to do
true.
the work anymore, Chester. That's what it is. None of them want to do the work anymore. They used to have whole teams to because obviously they're not going to do it themselves, to get them this data. Now they listen to machines. They listen to algorithms. They listen to they. It's kind of like how I complain about religion has lost its mysticism. They've lost their mysticism. They don't believe in anything anymore. They simply don't believe in anything anymore, and because of that, they've learned so much they've forgotten how to believe. I think is the quote from C.S. Lewis, something to that effect.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now. They've become so literal, so mechanical that they don't understand intuition. They don't understand a gut feeling. They don't understand a charm. They don't really understand trends, and because of that, they go nowhere. It takes a guy who's 20 years old who isn't jaded, right? Who just wants to make good fun. He just wants to make fun shit.
Yeah,
That's
he's
it. That's what he
hungry.
wants to do.
He's hungry.
He's hungry for it. He's ready to go to get in there and make him $300 million like he's scratching his ass.
That's
That's
right.
what it
And that's why
takes.
Steven Spielberg hadn't made a good movie for
Yeah,
a long time.
he's sated.
He's not
He's
hungry.
the old
Yeah.
dog now. He ate all the food. He got all the bitches. He's good.
He's good.
He's over there.
But
Yeah.
this little right here, I think, sums it up perfectly as far as a finishing point for this article. If Malozzi is right that today's fans are organized, strategic, and highly data literate, which they are, the Save Stargate campaign is the live demonstration, and Michael Shanks is cheering it on in real time. As fans
Yep.
coordinate petitions, banner fundraisers, and call in pushes, Shank reposts the effort with open approval. This is how you organize. Well done. Save Stargate. When another fan begged him to step in directly, he kept it short, trying. Um,
Nice.
he's very right. And this right here, that today's fans, not the little 60-second TikTokers, actual
Mm.
fans are organized, strategic, and highly data literate. This right here is some of the biggest truth I've seen out of an executive in quite a while. This is realization of what's what because they don't get it. They think we're all stupid. They
Yes.
don't understand how organized we are. They don't understand how the technology actually works and the fact that we do, right? And this
Right.
is an old dude. I know this, and I'm an old guy, right?
Right.
And they know what they're doing. They know how to be strategic, and as it says, highly data literate. Dude, the frickin' autist on the internet can debunk you in less than an hour.
That's right. Yep.
And
That's
these
right.
executives, and he's just putting it out there. He said these executives have nothing but contempt because they don't know what they're talking about. And to be fair, this is pretty bold from this guy because he just
It
burned
goes
a
even deeper.
whole bunch of bridges, dude.
Yeah, it goes even deeper. They're just incompetent, and they hate the fact that these nobodies, as they would call it, have more competency than them. It's envy from the top down to the people who they're supposed to be serving, and it's because they've been up there so long at the top of their little ivory towers, they forgot what it's like on the ground if they ever were even there, and that's why you get these.
It's also arrogance. It's that they think that they know more than the people. It's not just like incompetence. It's arrogance. It's we've seen it with all of this. It's the idea that they can take something that they do not create, fundamentally change what that thing is, and think that people will still come back because it has brand recognition. I don't know who the fuck came up with that concept. I hope you piss blood the rest of your days, you bitch.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
it's no, because they really think that you can fundamentally change something from what it is, but because the name is still on the fucking placard, that'll do it. It's like, you going back to the whole McDonald's thing. Imagine tomorrow you completely change the McDonald's menu to a fucking vegan menu. it's not McDonald's anymore, but some faggot will go outside and go, yes, it is. Look, it still says McDonald's on the sign.
Right. Right.
No, faggot.
Right.
It's not McDonald's anymore.
Right. Right.
We
And
know
the
what
best part about
was.
McDonald's is they try shit. They do. They test stuff all the time. But they never really change their core. They know what their audience wants, and they serve them. And guess what?
Yeah.
I know, it's a crazy idea. It just works. They just make billions of dollars every year. Crazy, I know.
All right, give me 1 second. Someone needs to be spanked. Maple Sheep,
Uh-oh.
fuck off.
No? You still no Scarlet for you anymore, Chester? You're out? You've punched out of that?
That's a grandma.
Grandma! She's my age!
She's at least a decade younger than you. How are you calling?
Shit, my wife looks younger than this. And
Well, she's Asian!
Your wife's Asian.
That's an old grandma right there. That's a grandma. You got a little sun hat on.
So she's finally in your age bracket and you're bitching.
I've never found her very attractive. I understand some people do, but that's fine. I'm just saying that no.
Oh,
no,
she's 2 weeks older than me, actually. 2 weeks.
No, Maple Sheep.
Oh, man, you understand that this woman has had literally a marathon of dick run through her. Just miles of it. Miles.
And you're trying to impress me with that?
No, I'm saying, just as an aside, that's an ultra whore right there. Ultra.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Imagine, Chester, just imagine making out with her knowing that she sucked more dick than most chains, the length of most chains on a big cruise ship. The anchor chain. She's got that much dick in her.
No, I wouldn't. I am discerning. She is.
He's like, I would not kiss her, but I might fuck her.
No, I wouldn't do that. But the thing is, she's past her prime for playing a leading lady. She really is. She's going to fall into categories of playing the older woman and things like that, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. She's not the greatest actress, but she's a good character actor, though. She's fine in the background or something, or a supporting actress. She's fine for that.
The question is, can her ego handle that?
I don't know. Does she have one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. All I know is some gentleman, a nice blonde man, nice good-looking blonde guy, decided to put a ring on this finger, and I'm like, bro, the amount of penis that's been in and around this woman's mouth, she could almost make a battalion of men. A battalion.
Yeah. I didn't even know she was that whore. I mean, she's Hollywood, so I
knew
she was somewhat whore.
She literally used to go on talk shows, late night talk shows, talk about she only likes to have group sex. For years, she did this.
Oh, fuck?
I didn't know that. So she's like, well, there's a lot of them like that, though, aren't they, in Hollywood? But the thing is, honestly, they're kind of all whores. If you're an actress and you're dating or married to somebody and you're doing some sex scene and kissing up and rubbing up on some guy, that is adultery. Even though there might not be, penetration, you're still.
I mean, the guys get hard.
I'm just saying. I don't really care.
A lot of times they have to tape their thing to their stomach so they, because they get hard. I mean, pretty girls grinding up on you.
But I'm just saying, you can't do that. You can't be married and be doing that. But they all do that because it's Hollywood. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about it. You're all a bunch of whores. And then you come and complain about Me Too nonsense when you were paid for that shit.
Yeah, literally, quite literally. Yeah, no.
It's a grandmother. I'd like. It's a gilf. You're correct. And look at that old lady.
Look at that old lady. Well, I mean, you didn't get rid of all the hair color. Yeah, she probably got a lot of gray hair.
I
Yeah.
guarantee you. Look at all these
Yeah.
wrinkles.
Her hairline's gone back some too. She's
Look
got that thinning.
look at them elbows. Look at those elbows. Look at the neck. Look at all the chicken, the goose neck going
The
on.
neck
Look at all
does
of
not
it.
lie.
Look
The
at
neck is
all of it.
unbeatable. You can't hide the neck. They have all kinds of surgeries to hide the neck. It never works. You can always tell.
Well, you know what? Somebody out there decided to ask the important question,
Uh-huh.
the real important question, and I'll post it in the chat for you, Chester, just for you.
Oh
Fine.
no.
Okay, fine. Maple Chic said, "What, man? She's 41. He's 40. Okay, fine." Okay. Now let's say whilst he's posting that, let's take a look here. Disclosure Day. Wow, dude. 40 million, 45 million dollars. I don't know how
That thing's gonna
expensive
flop
this
hard the next
was.
weekend.
It will because it's so boring. I don't know how expensive this was to make though. Although I saw a lot of commercials for it over here, a lot. So they
Yeah.
spend money on marketing nevertheless, but it's just boring and it's one of those movies that ends without answering anything at all. Literally
Excellent.
zero answers for you. Zero.
2 hours and 25 minutes. You can't give me an answer, Steve? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Berg? Spielberg.
Let's see how Obsession is doing.
Get that.
143 million in pocket, dude. God.
That's crazy. This movie only cost $750,000 to make.
Dude. They're so in the green, or excuse me, in the black.
I would just retire. Be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I made enough. I don't need to do this anymore.
Let's see here. Backrooms. You already said it, but it's a similar number.
Woo! Oh no. Well, Google says 262. Google
Okay,
says 262.
But
So
still, this was a low budget movie, and it's banging.
10 million.
10 million. So it's way more than Obsession. So it's actually Obsession is technically doing better. But
Yes.
still, they're way in the black here. So good on them for that. Masters of the Universe. Whew, wow, dude. Wow,
It's rough.
that's rough.
The problem is they're going to learn all the wrong lessons from this and be like, well, again, it's Amazon, so it's not as big of a deal. That's what people also got to keep that in mind. But they're going to learn the wrong lessons from this. See, there's just no audience for the male stuff. That's not the lesson. The lesson is you got a lot more work to do before you get that male audience back. You abused them, mistreated them, called them every name in the book for 15 fucking years, maybe longer if you really want to check. We have no reason to give you our money because you decided to take a franchise that's been dead for 15 years and make a movie about it.
Right. Now, and to be fair, this little elevator pitch that they have up here, it's not even correct. A young man on Earth discovers a fabulous secret legacy as the prince of an alien planet. No, he doesn't. He knows exactly who he is from day one and must recover a magical sword and return home to protect his kingdom. None of this is true. So I didn't even notice that before because I didn't see the movie. But no, that's not at all what happens. He knows exactly who he is. Matter of fact, he's such an idiot because they do portray Adam as an idiot throughout the entire movie. Keep that in mind. And he knows exactly who he is to such a point that he tells everybody, and it's a running joke that this weird, creepy guy keeps trying to tell everybody he's an alien prince that looking for a sword. It's the opposite of this.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's dead, dude. That is so dead. Let's see if they picked up at all. Yeah, they're not going to make their money back. I know that on Star Wars. The Furious, this Michael thing, and once again, I have zero interest in it, but dude, it's going to hit $1 billion.
It's going to do it off of a man who's been dead for a long time, folks. Just his name.
All right, so this is a typical kidnapped daughter going to save her guy with special skills. Okay, fine.
Very particular set of skills, this man.
Yeah, okay. It's Lionsgate, though. I imagine they're not happy about that number. But then
Well,
again,
they only put it out in 1,200 theaters.
yeah, right. It's weird. I did see a couple. I didn't watch them, but I did see a couple of the people who I watch actually critiquing it. So I should go watch it just to
Stop
see.
that train.
What the hell is this, dude? Same amount of money, less theaters. Don't know who distributed it. Uh-oh. Two train stewardesses, BFS, switch from a dull railway to a luxurious. This looks like a black exploitation thing. Okay. Cool. Do you like those, Grimlock? All the blackety black movies?
I like the old ones, the ones that was actually good.
The ones that were fun?
It is. They did it.
They did, dude. Yeah, they're well in it now. Immortal pick up anything extra? A little bit. A little bit.
Not much, but a
Not
little.
much at all. However, once again, we are in the summer swing. We're in the summer season, but there's not a lot of movies dropped. Look at that. 3 movies, dude. 3 new movies come out this weekend. 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And it's June, dude. It's freaking June.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude. But there are some things making some money, some indie stuff, some classic stuff. Of course, Super Mario making money, which is great. And some other stuff, people just saying, nope. It's
What's
too bad
Star Wars
about.
doing?
I just looked at it. They're like I said, they're you know,
Oh,
it's not
that's
enough.
a loss.
It's not
That's a
enough.
loss.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's not enough. But this is the saddest one for me, though, this right here, because that is a huge loss. Huge loss. Now, we know it's already paid for, so
Yeah.
technically you could say it's just bonus money. I get it. But it's unfortunate because this is a fun little popcorn movie. It really is.
What Bezos should do if he's smart, because this was a movie he wanted made, by the way. Bezos did. What he should do if he's smart is he takes this, what he's built, he turns it into a show, and
Yeah,
let it run on Prime, and just have his fun.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's
Why
kind of the
not?
same thing he did with Lord of the Rings. He didn't make no money on that. Ain't no way he made that money back. He almost spent $1 billion on that shit. But he still made 3 seasons of it.
The war continues. Maple Chic says, but if she was trans, right, Chester? Fuck you, Maple Chic. How do you know she's not? She could be.
She might have a dick. You never know.
Yeah.
Could be a dick in there. Explain all the dick she's taken.
Yeah.
He's gay. Gay men love dick. Can't get enough.
That is true. They are promiscuous. That is true. But what is that? What crack is that anyway? Have I ever supported the transes here? Have I done that? Maybe I did. I seem to remember I said something off and he twisted it, which is what he does though. He is the chic of Maple. So, All right. I shan't forget this. Be like that. Anyway, so same shit, different week, basically. There's a bunch of nonsense going on as usual. People are having some fun with some things. And to be fair, we do kind of tip on the loud vocal minority who are kind of ruining everything. Because there are plenty of normies that just are living life and having a good old time. And gas prices are way, way down.
You're about to get a lot better now.
And they're about to get a lot better. You're also going to see this flow of general costs is going to come down on everything. Housing market is coming down, particularly rental market. And of course, that's because millions of illegals have been kicked out or ran away. You're also seeing the job market just absolutely spike. There are so many actual good jobs being made. And of course, with a lot of the illegals being pushed out, you're seeing these companies having to hire just Americans. So jobs are getting fulfilled. So the next few years, I think, are going to be great in that regards, which we shouldn't be surprised they were with Trump before. So
Yep. They had to literally unleash a pestilence to stop the man.
Yeah.
You'll never convince me it wasn't intentional. Ever. I'm sorry, it was just too perfect. Too much of a perfect storm. China got everything they wanted out of it. Everything. And America got fucked. Well, America's hard to keep down. We'll go down. You can knock us down, but we get right back the fuck up. We keep doing it. And we're back. We're back. We got our emperor out here. He's out here doing gladiatorial games on his palace lawn.
Damn right.
I love it. More of it, please. Next time, can we kill people? Can we go all the way? Go all the way with it, Donald. Make them life or death.
Yeah, there you go, Donald. And Alan, we told you to get out of California. What are you doing?
What do you see? He could do this. Could be fun. We could have a good time. He could get Maduro, right? Say, listen, I'll pardon you right now, but you got to win this death match.
Yeah.
Against some other crazy son of a bitch who needs to get got.
I say Fauci.
Yeah. Fauci's like 5 foot tall. Maduro's like 6'4".
Let's go.
That's not even a fight. That's just a man beating a child, Justin.
No, I'm all right with it. Anyway.
Oh man.
I gotta roll. I gotta go to work. So Grimlock, what you got?
Cyclops is dumb fun in Marvel Rivals.
Oh yeah.
The Chinese have done what Marvel can't. Again.
It's good.
And I'm enjoying the Transformers comic.
Cool. That's good to hear. Any
That's
kind of
it.
enjoyment of comics is always good. That is true.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Grimlock. Thank you to everybody else. We will see you in a couple days where we continue in Puffin's campaign. And of course, we also have another indie. We got Nick coming back for his comic this week on Drawn and Quartered. So come back for that. But other than that, Thundero, take us out of here.
It's just all the lefties out there who have lost astronomically tonight as the man known as Donald John Trump, the greatest marketer to ever live in the history of mankind, has put on a show of propaganda that the Soviets couldn't have dreamed of in their wildest dreams in one evening. It's still going, but he's done a beautiful job. This is for them, Chester. This is for them specifically because of the great weeping and gnashing of teeth that they are enduring at the moment. Your pain is not preeminent. Your suffering is not sacred.
Namaste. And I'm going to prepare for Maple Chic next week. It's on, baby.
Oh no! Here come all the trannies. They're coming. He's gonna do nothing, but it's gonna be trannies everywhere.
That's right. Later, everybody.